Welcome to the Masters 1 Primetime session of 2024 Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. I'm your host, Adriana Davis, joined in the booth by none other than Chelsea Savitt, coming off a phenomenal performance at Open Nationals. Now today, we are going to have the primetime session of the Masters 1 lifters. That is going to be lifters who are in their 40s. Now we've got some phenomenal battles across the board, returning world champions such as Melissa Copeland, but we are going to get started here with Noelle Brigden. Now, how these primetime lifters were selected to be in this session is based on their nominated totals percentage to the world record. So this is the best of the best lifting here today. Noelle starting us off with a 100 kilo squat. A little bit shaky, but it moved well. Maybe
Still
just some
look
nerves.
still looked like a strong opener. Yep, 3 white lights, so we're good on depth. We're good on commands. We're in the meat.
Noelle has been competing since 2017. She won nationals in 2022 in the 47 kilo class. Went on to compete at the World Championships where she placed silver. Now trying to make her return to pick up a gold medal. But now Kelly Tonini in the 57 kilo division, opening up with 107.5.
That's 231 pounds on the bar. Let's see if this looks like an opener.
And it does.
No problem for Kelly.
Exactly what you want out of an opener. 3 white lights. It's a good lift for Kelly. We are going to stay in the 57 kilo class as Astrid is going to come out to a 120 kilo opening attempt. Now, this is going to be a bit of a battle here in the Masters 1 57 kilo class. Astrid versus Erin Riddle, both currently forecasted on the exact same total. It's going to come down to the last deadlift. Both lifters are going to have to execute on the day. Now Astrid's coming in, kind of a newcomer here. She won bench nationals, but this is her first Powerlifting America Open Nationals. Let's see how she handles her first squat.
Look good to me. Let's see what the judges think.
3 white lights, it's a good lift.
Nice.
Starting up strong, making a strong debut to the Powerlifting America national stage. Now here's Erin Riddle. And it's nice to see these competitors go back and forth like this. We can kind of compare the speeds of their lifts. Erin Riddle being coached by legendary game day handlers, Matt and Susie Gary. She has what a team behind her. Erin opening up with a 130 kilo squat. Now Erin's going to be battling against Astrid for the title.
She needs this opener.
Yep, and this is actually Erin's first time on the national stage. And what a debut to be in the primetime session, battling it out for the national title and potentially a world's team spot.
Look at that face of confidence during her squat. I love to see that. When you just walk out the weight and you know you got it, feels light on your back.
Yeah,
you know it's going to be a good meet.
That first squat is the most nerve-wracking lift of the entire meet.
She just looked confident. I loved the way that I loved her expression during that squat.
Yeah, looked very confident. Now, Amy Mason returning as the reigning national 63 kilo champion. She competed at her first World Championships last year, walked away with the bronze medal. Now is going to be competing against newcomer Jennifer Sauter. Amy's opening up with a 135 kilo squat. These are masters lifters in their 40s. She's opening up just under 300 pounds.
That strong walkout.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to be calm and composed. She's been competing since 2016.
Nice.
Yeah, it looked like a good squat. At least from our point of view, the referees do have the best seats in the house. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
Got a little sticky there, but you know what? Some people just have sticky squats, and that might be a normal opener for her. So.
Right, like some lifters come out and all of their squats are going to look like that. All of them are going to be slow. We'll just have to see how she handles her second attempt, where she jumps to. But first, we have Charity Woodard, reigning national and world champion, despite only competing since 2023. looking to pick up another title, go on to Worlds, defend that world title. But she's got to defend her national one first. 137.5 on the bar for her.
It looks like she's got a challenger today, so every attempt is going to matter in this battle here.
Yeah, she's going to be competing against Ellis Bradshaw. Currently on forecasted total, just 2.5 kilos away. Unfortunately, let's watch this replay.
Okay.
It's going to be no lift based on not squatting deep enough. Yeah, I could see it. It's right on the border. They could come and have that conversation with the jury. And I actually see her coach run over there, and they are going to not overturn it. And like you said, making those lifts are going to be super important. She hasn't been in the game for that long, only competing since 2023.
Yeah, and you know what? It'll be interesting to see if her coaches decide to go up just because she's in a battle, or if she's going to retake that opener to play it safe. We'll see.
First, Lynette Bogdan, 140 kilos on the bar for her opening attempt. Huge openers from these Masters lifters.
Nice.
308 pounds, moving like butter. 3 white lights, that's a good lift for her.
Looked very
Starting
good.
out strong.
She looks pretty happy with that.
Jennifer Sauter coming out, being coached by, again, legend in the game, Matt Gary. Newcomer to the Powerlifting American National Stage. She is on a mission to get to the World Championships. Going to be contending against the reigning national champion in Amy Mason. 145 for her opening attempt. Hailing out of New York.
I actually trained with Jen. Let's see. Come on.
Moved
Very
well.
nice.
Let's see what the judges say. Unfortunately, that's going to be no lift. We see Matt Gary. He knows what to do. He's having a walk over to the jury.
You know, the thing with the national championship is that, you know, these are national level judges. They're not going to give away questionable lifts. So if you're borderline,
It's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult just because, like you said, they've been in the game for so long. Next up is going to be Alexa Spursky, 145 kilos on the bar for her opening attempt. She's in the 69 kilo class. Looking to be the strong favorite to win that class, walk away with the national title. She won nationals last year, but in the 76 kilo weight class. Dropping down a weight class now. Three white lights, it's a good lift for her.
nice.
Starting off really strong there.
That was a really nice opener.
Yeah, and she's going to be composed. She's been on the international stage before. Placed 4th at Worlds 2 years ago. Now, Ellis Bradshaw in the 84 kilo division, opening up with 150 kilos. Going to be contending with Charity Woodard. And it is important to note that Amy Hutchinson, who lifted in the regular session, put up a 427.5 kilo total. So these two lifters between Ellis and Charity gonna battling against each other, but also battling against what Amy put up in the regular session. Depth looked good.
Nice. It was a little sticky, but she controlled it really well. Technique was really tight. Execution was really tight.
Now Esther Scott in the 76 kilo division, opening up with 165 kilos. This is going to be Esther's debut to the Powerlifting America national stage.
That's a big opener squat.
Yeah, 165 kilos. I mean, this is a respectable squat, even in the open division.
Yep. That's 363 pounds of the bar.
Yeah, let's see how she handles this. This is actually only 5 kilos under her best squat in competition. Handled it very well.
And she's got a smile on her face. She knows it's good. Let's see if the judges agree.
2-1, that's a good lift.
Okay.
Gets 1 red card from the chief referee. But in powerlifting, majority rules, and that goes both ways. So you get 2 white lights, it's going to be a good lift. 2 red lights, it's going to be a no lift. Now, Melissa
2 white
Copeland.
lights is all you need.
Yeah, exactly. Melissa Copeland, 197.5 for her opening attempt. Huge squat here.
That's a very large squat. That's 435 pounds. She's going to put on her back and squat down and pick back up.
Melissa is a veteran in the game, having won the World Championships 3 times. Last appearance at Worlds, she placed silver medal. Gonna be wanting to come back and pick back up another gold medal. And that starts here with defending her national title.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit sticky out of the hole, but it wasn't too slow, not an all-out grinder.
Really well executed.
Yeah, and she's going to be an executionist. I mean, just due to how much experience she has at both the national and international level.
And you know what? That opener squat, which I know we have some ladies who did not get their opener, they're going to retake it or they're going to go up. That's the toughest lift of the meet.
Yes, and it's even tougher when you come out, miss it on the technicality, such as depth. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but now we are back to the top of the order. Noelle Rigdon in the 52 kilo class, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 107.5.
Nice.
Three white lines, it's a good lift for Noelle.
I loved her expression during that lift too. That was one of those like
she had determination on her face.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Noelle looking to return back to the World Championships. Now Kelly Tonini in the 57 kilo class, coming out to 117.5. Pretty sizable jump, especially for this lighter weight class, 10 kilos. Got to see how she handles it here. She's the reigning national champion, but she's got some newcomers who are looking to take her title from her.
She handled that well.
And Chelsea, what do you typically, that was a good lift, what do you typically look for in a second attempt? In terms of speed?
Generally speaking, I look for the slowest part of the squat, and usually you'll make a determination on what kind of jump to make based on where that sticking point is, where the slowest velocity is in the squat. So it got a little sticky, but I think she could handle another 5, maybe 7.5 after that.
Now Astrid taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 127.5. Again, Astrid, she won bench nationals, but this is her first time on the open stage in Powerlifting America, battling it out with Erin Riddle for the national title. Slow and steady, not an all-out grinder. 2 to 1, that's a good lift.
Slow and steady is fine.
Completely fine. And some lifters, especially, I noticed out of a lot of masters lifters, they're able to, they've got a lot of heart, honestly. They're able to grind out these attempts.
That's right. All right. Charity Woodard.
Yep, she is going to be repeating her opener with 137.5.
And you know what? That opener did not look hard. It just looked a little bit borderline on depth. So she's going to come back. She knows she has to sink this because the judges are going to be looking for that depth.
Yeah, and I like this call to just repeat it. Typically, that's going to be the move. Sometimes you see coaches, lifters, they miss on the technicality, go up anyways, and end up missing on some sort of strength issue, and then you really run into trouble there. That looked better for the depth. See what the judges say. Yep,
nice.
White lights. Was able
Not
to
even a
correct
question.
the
We've got
issue
3
on
whites.
the board. Yeah, that looked very much in depth, and she's, yep, on the board.
Yep.
And that's important. She's going to be battling with Ellis Bradshaw. You have to get it lifted. Otherwise, you're not even going to be in contention for placing.
She had a job to do, and she got that job done. So third one is going to be about unloading what she's got.
Now, Erin Riddle.
138.
Yep,
Is that a record?
It's a record. We've got our first national record attempt from Erin Riddle.
Impressive. On a second attempt, nonetheless.
Yeah, over 300 pounds, about 304 pounds. 138 kilos on the bar for Erin's second attempt. Again, she's in a dogfight, honestly, with Astrid.
And you know, if she could get this chip, that will very much put her in a position to
see how this moves. Wow. Moved pretty well, especially for a record attempt. Wasn't an all-out grinder.
Very good.
Execution was on point, 3 white lights.
That was definitely an appropriate second attempt. And the value of taking a chip comes down to when the way that it works out in powerlifting is that if there's a tie at the end with 2 totals that are the same, the placement goes to the person who has lower body weight, and it's hard to tie when someone has a chip. You have to go up another 2.5 kilos.
Yeah, it would force the other competitor to load up that extra 2.5 kilos, and that could break the bank.
It could.
Extra 2.5. Now, Amy Mason, 142.5 for her second attempt. Returning national champion, battling out with newcomer Jennifer Sauter. And when you're in one of these battles, every lift is going to count. You're going to want to build up the best total you can. Unfortunately for Amy, it's going to be no lift. It just looked like a little too heavy. She's going to come back, obviously going to repeat it on her third attempt. And yeah, I mean, that is 5 kilos under her best squat.
You know what? She lost it on strength and not a technicality, but you never know. She might get hyped up for her third and get it on her third.
Yeah, and she potentially, it didn't look as such, but she could have had some sort of misgroove. And she's not the only one missing lifts. I mean, Jennifer Sauter coming out to 145, having to repeat her opening attempt. Missed it, not on strength issue, but on a technicality.
It was only 2 to 1, so just need one more white.
It looked a lot better.
Come on, Jen. Nice. Yep, she's in the meat. She's got to be in the meat after that.
Yeah, that looked a lot better from the front angle. 3 white lights.
Whew, she's happy.
Yeah, she's on the board. Very happy. I mean, that is, like we said, that first squat is the most nerve-wracking. When you miss it, the adrenaline just like fires up more, and she's able to stay in the meat.
She's got to feel relieved after that second.
Now, Lynette Bogdan, 10 kilo jump to 150 kilos. We're in the 76 kilo class.
Looks like she's taking a 10 kilo jump.
She's got experience on the national and international stage. Competed at the World Championships in 2022. Hit that sticking point, but never came to a full stop. Was able to fight all the way through. 3 white lights. It's a good lift for Lynette.
I think she's got maybe like 5 more after that. We'll see what her coaches put on there.
Like she's able to grind it out, just given how much she was able to stick with that, make it smooth all the way through, even if it's slowed down.
Yep.
Now, Alexa Spursky in the 69 kilo class. She's been to Worlds before, won the national championship last year in the 76 kilo class.
She handled that opener really well. I think 7.5 for her second is a perfect call. Let's see how she handles it.
Yeah, and there's always the risk of when you see lifters dropping down a weight class, maybe it affects their lifts. They're not able to really gauge where they're at, but her opener really moved well. And this was going to be about 2 kilos under her personal best in the squat. Yeah, moved pretty well.
I didn't even see a sticking point there.
Yeah, I didn't either. Unfortunately, I held my breath. It looked a little on the border. Let's watch this replay. She gets red cards for not squatting deep enough. Right on the border again.
It was close.
I don't think they're going to approach the jury on that.
Yeah, I mean, strength is not an issue for her.
Yeah, I mean, it will be really interesting to see if she's going to repeat it or if she's going to go up anyways. These lifters are going to be wanting to put up the best total they can in order to make a case to get on the national team. Now, Ellis Bradshaw, 157.5.
That's 347 pounds.
Yep, and this is her debut to the national stage. Kind of an interesting situation. We're in the 84 kilo class. We've got Cherny Woodard, who is the world champion returning, but she's also kind of new to the sport. Handles the 7.5 kilo jump well. A little slow, but never came to a stop. 3 white lights. Good lift for Ellis. And again, in these battles, it's tight between her and Cherny, and every lift is going to count, every single kilo. Now, Esther Scott, 175 kilos.
That's a big squat.
That's a big squat.
That's 385 pounds. There's something so satisfying about 3 red plates on the bar.
Yeah, exactly. And master squat. This would actually be a 5 kilo PR for her. This is her debut to the Powerlifting America National stage.
A 5 kilo PR squat on your second attempt.
Second attempt.
That's
at your
pretty
debut.
awesome. That is pretty awesome.
Let's see how she handles it. Handled it pretty well. Of course, it's slowed down. It's going to be slower than your opener, but moved pretty well. 3 white lights.
Very cleanly executed.
I guess just interested to see where she goes for a third attempt.
That did
5 kilos or so?
I'm thinking 5 would be appropriate, but maybe they'll play it really safe and go with 2.5. Let's see. Either way, she's got a 5 kilo PR on her second. Love that for her.
Melissa Copeland, reigning national champion, veteran in the game, has won 3 world championships. Gonna be making a case to return to Worlds, pick up a 4th title. 207.5 for her second attempt. Not too far off her best at 213.
Maybe she'll look to chip that on her third.
See how she handles this 10 kilo jump. Oh yeah, honestly
Nice.
that move pretty similar to how her opener did.
It was a little more work, but it was a really well executed squat. It's a lot of weight. It's 457 pounds, I think.
Yeah, that's that's some weight.
That's a
some
lot of
you have
weight.
on your back.
That's closer to 500 pounds than 400 pounds.
Now we are back to the top of the order. Third attempt squats for the female Masters 1 lifters, Noelle Brigden.
Noelle definitely activated another gear for her second attempt, so I think we're going to see her activate another gear for that extra 5 kilos.
Yeah, I think so too. She's very experienced in the game, competing since 2017. Lifted at the World Championships in 2023, looking to make a return. Now, I'm not sure what happened there in the hole. Let's wait to see what the judges say. She was able to fight it up miraculously.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately,
There might have been some down-up action there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, because that was on her descent, not her ascent.
I almost wonder if she, like, you'd hit the hole and then
It was
like,
a little
oh,
bit
I'm
of a
not
stutter.
done.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit of a stutter, and I thought she lost it at the hole, but she was able to fight through it. Unfortunately, it's going to be no lift for her. I'd probably approach the jury on that, but I don't think they're going to.
That was 3 reds.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. Thank you. So you're not able to overturn a 3 red light or 3 white light call. But now, Kelly Tonini, 125 kilos, trying to match her personal best here. Didn't look good.
Nice. Come on, fight it, fight it, fight it.
I thought she was going to be able to fight through it. Just a little too much. Still walks away with her second attempt at 117.5.
You know, sometimes when the lifter misses a third attempt, it doesn't mean that it was the wrong attempt.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been just a mishap on her part,
Yep.
some sort of misgroove. Now Astrid Girolamo, 130 kilos, taking the minimum amount, 2.5 kilo jump that you can. She's really in the battle here with Erin Riddle, and maybe perhaps that's why they took this minimum jump, because every kilo is going to count. You've got to make your lifts to stay.
Oh, wow.
In the
Look
meat,
at
in
that
the fight.
grind.
That looked like the good call. See what the judges say. A little bit of anticipation, waiting for the lights. Sometimes there's some sort of technical delay. Oh, unfortunately,
Ooh.
I thought that would be good. It's a 2-1
I thought it was
no lift.
close.
They could approach the jury on that. And I definitely would. I mean, as a handler, as a game day handler, you are fighting for your lifter. You are trying, you're like their lawyer. You know?
You're their advocate.
Yeah, their advocate, exactly. Now,
All
Amy
right.
Mason missed her second attempt, and it wasn't a technical issue, it was on strength.
She missed it out of the hole. It could have been a misgroove. You know, maybe she just didn't psych up enough, so
Yeah, and
she's got a
sometimes-
chance.
I mean,
She's got a chance of getting
the
it.
platform is completely different from the gym. You've got all these variables in play. Could have had a cut coming in, could have been a travel. Let's see if she can come back and hit this.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
That went up.
She is a fighter. She is on a hunt to defend her national title.
Yeah,
3 white lines for
there
Amy
you go.
Mason. What a way
There
to
you
come
go,
back.
Amy.
Redemption for Amy Mason.
You know, maybe she activated another gear. Maybe there was a misgroove on her second, but either way, that's impressive.
Yeah, and that's 7.5 kilos that she could have been leaving on the table if she missed that.
She needed that lift.
Yeah, pivotal 7.5 kilos in her battle against Jennifer Sauter. Now, Erin Riddle broke a national record on her second attempt.
She handily broke that national
at
record too.
At her first national championship ever. Now trying to add 5 kilos to that. 143 on the bar.
That's 315 pounds for a 57 kilo lifter. That's a lot of weight for someone of that size. That's why it's a national record. Let's see.
Wow,
Nice.
sticks with the fight. Never got pulled out of the pocket. That was a great third attempt.
I'm not gonna lie, I think she had a little more, but
3 white lights.
she's got that chip. She got that national record on her second and third attempt. She's in a good spot.
Yeah, that really puts her in a good spot, especially considering that her other competitor, Astrid Girolamo, missed her third attempt. And Erin's made all 3 lifts. That really builds a lot of momentum. Jennifer Sauter getting so fired up for her third attempt. 150 kilos.
She knows they're being tough on depth here. Gotta leave no questions.
Yeah, Jennifer has previously hit 152.5. Gonna have to sink this. Let's see if she can. Oh, that looked good.
Oh, she knows it's good. Oh, yeah.
3 white lights is a good lift. What a way to come back from a missed opener on
Love
depth.
it.
And it's very hard to make those adjustments on the day. Picks up an extra 5 kilos. It's going to be pivotal in her fight against Amy Mason. Now, Charity Woodard missed her opener on depth, was forced to retake it. Now jumping 12.5 kilos
Okay.
to 150. And yeah, it's a dicey proposition. And you're always stuck in that situation. You never plan to miss your opener, right? But when you do, you don't want to. It's difficult to risk going up anyways.
At a national championship, the stakes are high.
But
So-
now that she got her opener in on that retake, she's forced to make this big jump. Let's see how she handles it.
Yep. Nice. And you know what? Sometimes taking a risk like that pays off.
Yeah, let's see what the judges say. Yep, 3
Looked
white
good to
lights,
me.
good lift.
Good for her.
Yeah,
That's
picking up
tough.
those extra 12.5 kilos, defending her national title.
I wonder if that was what her planned third attempt was.
It likely was. I mean, I believe that was a 2.5 kilo PR for her.
Okay.
So yeah, that probably
Nice.
looked like her planned third. And
Nicely done.
It's hard when you have to retake your opener. You've got to have that conversation if you're going to jump to your planned second, your planned third. But yeah, that looked great for her. Now,
You know, in a national championship, you got to go for it.
yeah, especially when you're under fire in a battle. Now, Alexa Spersky in the 69 kilo class, repeating 152.5. She missed her second attempt on depth, opting to repeat it. She's not going to be in a battle here, but trying to put up the best total she can to make a case to be on the national team. It looked better than her second. See if it's good enough for the judges. And it is.
Okay.
2-1. It's a good lift.
That's all you need.
And again, it is very, very difficult mentally to miss an attempt, get in the right headspace to say, hey, that was just a mishap. I can come back and hit it. I'm capable. So hats off to her. Now, Lynette Bogdan, 157.5 for her final attempt. This would be a 2.5 kilo PR for her. She is a previous national champion in the 84 kilo division, now in the 76 kilo division. Depth look good.
Oh, come
the
on.
fight comes
Oh,
and
look
she's
at that
ready for it.
fight. Yep.
Great way to fight through the sticking point there.
I think that was good. Yep.
3 white
it was
lights.
good.
Good lift for her. Awesome job. on Lynette.
She's like, yep, I did
Yeah,
that.
I would be very relieved. I mean, the sticking point, it was a hard sticking point.
Yeah,
too.
she
was able to
worked
fight
for
through
that.
it.
She easily could have given up, but she did not.
Now, Ellis Bradshaw, her debut to the Powerlifting America national stage, walking out to what would be a 2.5 kilo PR for her, 162.5.
It's a big squat. That's 358 pounds.
Yeah, as lifting in your 40s in a battle against Charity Woodard.
I have so much respect for all these lifters.
I do too. It's really inspiring to see.
Love it.
These Masters
Perfect third
lifters,
attempt.
they can always grind out their lifts. They've just got a lot of heart on them.
it.
3 white lights,
They really
it's
do.
a good lift.
Based on her face, she knew that was tough. That's satisfying, though.
Yeah, very,
it's
very
so satisfying to grind through
When
a
you
third
leave,
squat.
yes, exactly.
Not
When
miss
you
it on
leave
depth.
what you have on the day on the platform, it's really good.
And you know what? Even if it's not a PR, it still feels good.
Now Esther Scott hit 175 kilos on her second attempt, jumping 5 kilos to 180.
This is a big squat.
This is a big squat.
I think she's good for 5. I think this is the right call. 396 pounds.
I think she's going to have a fight with it, but it looked like she could have it. Let's see.
Oh, come on.
No.
Oh, she was so close.
Yeah, just a little too much.
You know what? I still think that was the right third attempt. I probably would have put on 5 for her after the way her second moved.
Yeah, her second, it was difficult, but it looked as though she could grind through.
Looked like she was good for 5.
Yeah, and I mean, in her case, she is forecasted well ahead in the 76 kilo class. Lynette could potentially catch up if she starts to slip up. And if we say the right call was 2.5 kilos, then you're missing out on 2.5
It's only
kilos.
2.5.
Now, Melissa Copeland
Okay. We
went with your plan,
Yep,
chipping
she's
her
shipping
old PR
that.
with 213.5. This is a national record attempt for Melissa Copeland, veteran in the game.
I don't even know what this is in pounds. I gotta look that up.
Something like 470 pounds. She is
Let's
so
go,
fired
Melissa.
up for this. Let's see her hit this.
Oh, that is execution for you.
Fantastic
What
squat
a fight.
out of Melissa Copeland.
That was
That's gotta be
beautiful.
good. 3 white lights. It's a good lift.
That was beautiful. What a
On
way to
route.
end that flight.
En route to defend her national title, return to the world stage. Awesome lifting out of Melissa Copeland. Now we are
So
going
much
to-
respect for these Masters lifters, as I said.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a
shipping
phenomenal
national
squat fight.
records, grinding
National
through some slow
records.
squats.
Development of some battles. Now we are going to move on to the men's flight. Todd Straub. We are in the 83 kilo division. And this is going to be a bit of a battle.
Yeah, we've got 383 kilo. I think it's 3.
We've got 4.
483
We've got
kilo.
5.
Woo.
The 83 kilo division is deep. And we're going to have a bit of a rematch here between Todd Straub, Jonathan Losa, Lauren Cohen. Losa was the national champion last year. Todd Straub competed at the NAPFs. They've all got international level experience. They've got experience in the game. Todd Straub
Very
starts
nice.
us off with 220 kilos.
That moved fast.
Yeah, moved well. 3 white lights, good lift. Now in this 83 kilo battle, we're going to have the rematch of those 3 experienced lifters, but also have a newcomer in the mix with Ross LaPala.
And you know what? He's got the exact same body weight as Todd.
Wow.
82.75. And looks like based on forecasted total, they're looking at 1 and 2. But we might see lot number come into play here.
Yeah,
Let's see.
exactly. And with the forecasted total, it gives a sort of indication of where these lifters could end up at, but it's not the full story. There's lots of lifting left to go. Some people may open up light, make big jumps. Some people may open up too heavy. Now we have Chad Strother, 227.5 for his opening attempt. Another one of these 83 kilo lifters in the hunt. That moved well.
Nice. That did move well.
500 pounds. 3 white lights.
Very
good
good.
for Chad. This is actually Chad's debut to the Powerlifting America National stage. And he's right in the hunt for potentially a podium position, or maybe even moving up to silver or gold. We'll have to see how the day unfolds.
I'm going to be doing a lot of math in this battle here. The 83s.
Jonathan Losa, 230 kilos for his opening attempt. Reigning national champion, went on to compete at the World Championships where he placed silver. He's making a case to return, but he's got to win this 83 kilo battle first to defend his title. See how 230 kilos moves for him. Depth looked good, and it was
Nice.
so easy.
Very well executed.
Exactly what we want from the opening attempt.
You could tell he's got a lot of experience on the platform.
to jump down to the 74 kilo weight class. Michael Haran, 235 kilos for his opening attempt. He's a previous national champion in 2022. Went on to the World Championships where he placed silver.
This is a 518-pound squat for a 74 kilo. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, absolutely impressive. A little bit of a sticking point in the middle. Let's see what the judges say.
Look good to me.
I think he actually jumped the rat command at the end. We're going to watch the replay, but we're not going to be able to hear it.
Because you know what? He looked really good on depth.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it must have been very close. He must have just jumped the rat command. And that's a difficult situation because it wasn't like it was even a depth problem or any sort. So I'm interested to see if he jumps up or just repeats. Now, Ross Lapala, 250 kilos for his opening attempt. We are in this 83 kilo battle. Ross is the lifter out of these 4 or 5 lifters who does not have any international level experience. This is his debut to the Powerlifting American National stage. And I mean, based off forecasted total, he's the front runner, but he's gonna have to execute throughout the day. 250 kilos on the bar for him. Slow and steady.
Nice.
Move well.
Move well. 551-pound squat. I think it's good. Yep. 3 whites.
3 whites.
And you know what? He took that weight down very slowly, but again,
he looked controlled with it.
Very controlled. Some people do a very slow eccentric on the way down. Keep it slow, but I didn't really see a sticking point there.
Now coming up, we've got a legendary name in the sport, Lane Norton, opening up with 270 kilos.
He's psyched up.
Yeah, he's ready. He really gets fired up. He is the reigning national champion in the 93 kilo division. Won Masters Worlds in 2022. Last year he competed at the NAPF Championships. See how he moves, 270 kilos. A little bit slow out of the hole, but not like an all-out grinder.
It had a nice pop, though.
Let's go.
3 white lights. Let's see on this replay how it moved. Yeah, it wasn't the fastest opener ever, but it was smooth all the way through.
You know what? That opener squat is the toughest lift of the meet. You gotta get on the board. So maybe some nerves.
Yeah,
but
and that's why you see sometimes.
Overall, look clean.
Sometimes you see second attempts will move as well or even better than their openers. So yeah, interested to see where he goes from there.
Lane's a seasoned competitor. I have no doubt that he's going to go 3 for 3 on squat today.
Now James Farrier opening up with 282.5 kilos. James is the reigning national champion in the 120 plus kilo division, looking to defend his title against newcomer Rob Ward.
This is a 622-pound opener.
See how he moves this. Smooth all the way through.
I see a blue card, but 2 to 1. I wonder if it was soft knees at lockout.
Yeah, I believe it was. Just gonna have to clean it up on his second attempt.
But hey, he's in the meet.
Rolls, yep, he's still got 2 to 1. Good lift.
Wow, 639 pounds loaded up for Michael Garozzo.
Michael battled out with Lane Norton in the 93 kilo division at the NAPF Championships. Now moving up to the 105 kilo class.
Looks like we're going to have a bit of a battle in the 105s.
Yep, he's going to be contending against Carlos Santo Liquido, going back and forth. But Michael opening up with 290 kilos.
You've got a whole minute, so you could take your time to unrack until it feels right.
Yeah, and you see that more often with these seasoned competitors. I mean, he competed at NAPFs last year. He was in a battle. He won it. He's going to be calm and composed, not trying to rush his setup.
And you know what? When you have a wide stance squat like that, it tends to be a little tougher to hit depth, so...
And there it is. To the one that's going to be a no lift. It looked good to me. It was on the border.
Strength looked good.
His handler, Susie, coming up to the jury.
It is 2-1, so they can go up to the jury.
They're going to have that conversation. We'll keep you guys updated if that ends up getting overturned. And now, Michael's direct competitor, Carlos Santoliquido. Carlos is the reigning national and world champion, but in the 120 kilo division. Now he's dropping down to the 105s, while Michael is moving up from the 93s. They're meeting in the middle, gonna battle it out here. The world record total is 860 kilos. They could be approaching that by the time we get to the final deadlifts. Let's see, 292.5 kilos.
Look good to me. Let's see what the judges say.
2 to 1, it's a good lift. Gets
Okay.
1 red card based on depth. See how this moves for Carlos.
Coming up next,
I didn't really see any sticking points there. I mean, that's a
Wow.
lot of weight, but he handled it well. Maybe the 1 red light, though, will make him be a little more convincing on depth on his second and third. Sometimes you get a little spooked by 1 red, and then you make a slight adjustment for your second and third.
Now, Nathan Gorham in the 120 kilo division, opening up with 300 kilos. That's 661 pounds. Big milestone for lifters, and he's opening up with it. This is his debut to the Powerlifting America national stage. Moved well.
Strong squat.
Let's see what the judges say. 2 to 1, it's a good lift.
You know what? I'm not surprised to see that because he looked a little bit crooked in the hole. Like maybe he was depth on one side, but not depth on the other side. Either way, 2 to 1 is good enough. But
Yeah, and that can happen. Some lifters you see, they are a little imbalanced. Maybe one hip just sits higher with the way they squat, or the way they're built. Rob Ward getting fired up
he's so
for his
psyched
opening
up.
attempt, 305 kilos. Gonna be attempting to battle it out with James Farrier.
It's 672 pounds that he's taking as an opener.
Yeah, and Rob's the newcomer. This is his debut to the PA national stage, whereas James is the defending champion. That looked good. Yeah, that
Nice.
moved easy
That
for
was
him.
beautiful.
305
He looks happy
kilos.
with that.
Likely going to go
Woo.
over 700 pounds, 317.5, maybe even a second attempt. Just have to wait and see.
Nicely done, Rob.
And for Michael Garozzo, they did have that conversation with the jury, but that it was not able to be overturned. And we're going to see in a few lifters that he decided to just play it safe, repeat that weight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a calculation of, 1, how difficult did that opener look? And 2, how close is this battle? And there's 2 more squats to go, so can always make up for what you didn't get on your first with between your second and your third.
Todd Straub, we are back to the top of the order, on to second attempts. Gonna be a little harder than these openers. You're gonna want something that gives you an indication of where you can go on your third, but isn't gassing you out, not leaving anything in the tank. Todd Straub, let's see how he handles 232.5 kilos. Pretty well.
Depth looked good to me. Let's see what the judges say.
3
Nice.
white lights, that's a good lift.
And you know, you can't really judge depth from the front, but sometimes you
difficult to
see it and
do.
you're like, there's no way that's not depth.
Yeah, for Todd, that was a really good squat for him. At his last competition at the NAPF Championships, he ended up with 232.5 on his third. So now taking it on the second, be interesting to see where he goes from there. Now Michael Haran, repeating his opener with 235 kilos. And he actually didn't miss it on depth. He missed it on jumping the rack command. Now Michael is alone in the 74 kilo class. So he's just really got to register a total. Look good.
Nice.
And honestly, I like that call to repeat. Should be good. 2 to
Got
1.
one. Okay.
It's a blue card, probably based on
Maybe
soft,
knees?
soft knees.
Okay.
Likely soft knees, either at the start or the end of the lift. But he's on the board. That's exactly what he wanted. That's exactly why they played it safe, which is
Right.
repeating.
And you know what? Even when it's an opener, it's still heavy weight.
Mhm.
It does tax you a little bit, so in some cases it makes sense just to repeat it, even when it moved really well.
Chad Schroeder in the 83 kilo battle to be contending for a podium position.
That's
240
529
kilos.
pounds on the bar.
Really taking his time with his walkout. I like that. Taking his time. 240 kilos for him.
He
Slow and
fought
steady
that,
all the way
but it
through.
looked good.
2 to 1, that's a good lift. Another
Okay.
blue card. Likely again for soft knees at the start or end of the lift.
Jonathan Losa psyching up for his second attempt.
The defending national champion under fire from these 83 kilo lifters. 242.5 for his second attempt.
Now that's what you call attacking the bar with confidence.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see these lifters maybe be a little more calm for the opener, but as the weight gets heavier, they get more fired up. And he's going to need to be fired up. I mean, he's really in a tight battle here. 242.5 on the bar for him. That looked good. Moved how a second should.
It got a little crooked, but again,
That could always happen to him.
we've got these imbalances, and sometimes you see it on squat.
Record squat
Doesn't mean anything was wrong.
Ross LaPala.
Ross LaPala, 266.5 kilos for his second attempt. Being coached by Mike Touchier there. This is a national record on his second attempt. Ross,
Impressive.
newcomer in the game, debuted to the Powerlifting America national stage, while his competitors, such as Jonathan Losa, Todd Straub, they've got international experience behind them. Ross coming in, honestly as the favorite, but he's got to execute. Let's see how he handles this national record on his second attempt.
That's 587 pounds in the bar,
Wow.
and we saw Ross take a pretty slow eccentric, so slow descent on his first squat, but it looked good. I think he'll be good for this.
Yeah, really staying composed there. That looked good.
Yep.
Yeah, that moved well.
Very, very good squat.
3 white lights. It's a
Love
new
that.
national
Beautiful.
record
Beautiful
for
second
Ross
squat.
LaPala. Yep, at his debut, nonetheless, to the Powerlifting America national stage.
Next on the platform, Lane Norton.
Lane Norton taking a 15 kilo jump to 285 kilos. Lane's in the 93 kilo class. Getting so really fired up.
That's
I mean,
628 pounds for his second attempt.
he doesn't have any other fellow competitors in the primetime session.
That doesn't mean he's not going to put on a show.
Exactly. Won Masters Worlds in 2022, looking to make his return. Oh, good.
Lane is not one to give up when it gets hard.
Yeah, he's really a fighter. 3 white lights.
Solid.
For Lane Norton.
Solid second
So
squat.
fired up. I love it. I love how much he brings that
I love
energy.
that energy.
Next on the platform, we got Michael
Now,
Garozzo.
Michael Garozzo moving up from the 93 kilo class. He was battled out with Lane Norton.
He just missed his opener, 2 to 1 on depth. I think we'll see him come out, sink
And
it
it was
a little
close.
bit.
It was close. It wasn't egregiously high. Now we're going to see him, like you said, just have to sink it a little bit more. Get on the board. be contending against Carlos Santoliquito.
It's 639 pounds for Michael. And he does have a pretty wide stance on his squat, so it is always going to be borderline, but he'll probably make a little bit of adjustment just so that he can get on the board. Definitely looked a little deeper than his opener. So
Yeah,
let's see
and
what
it's
the judges
difficult
say.
to tell from the front. See what the judges say.
Okay.
2-1, he's on the board.
Okay,
That's
a little
good
deeper.
lift. Let's watch on this replay. Yeah, I look good. And like you said, he's got that wider stance, so it is going to be a little more difficult to reach that depth.
Yep.
Perhaps that is why he's got that slow descent, trying to really find where that depth is, making sure he's meeting the standard. Now, James Farrier in the 120 plus kilo division, defending his national title against Rob Ward. 292.5 on the bar for him. Just 2.5 kilos under his personal best. See how he handles it. That looked good.
Yep.
Handled it well.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I know you saw that. Those knees should be okay.
okay.
2-1. It's a good lift.
2-1. It's fine.
You know, we were watching from that front view where those knees kind of were looking soft, and then he locked it out at the very last second.
Did look like there was a little wobble there, but he did lock it out at the end. So
Oh, Carlos Santoliquito, reigning world champion in the 120 kilo division, dropping down to the 105s. .300 kilos on the bar for his second attempt.
cool, calm, and collected.
Previous PR is 310 kilos. So considering he dropped down the weight class, not too far off. See how he handles it. Oh yeah, okay.
Depth looked good. Knees were locked. Ooh.
Ah,
Okay.
fortunately that's gonna be a no lift. Let's see on this replay. They did not think that he squatted low enough.
Okay.
It was
It
right
looked a
there,
little
but I
borderline.
can, yeah, it was
I see it.
borderline. All three judges agree. That means they're not going to be able to go to the jury. And yeah, I mean, it moved well, so I'm interested to see where he goes from there. I mean, his competitor, Michael Garozzo, was also forced to retake an attempt after missing on depth, so it's not like he's too far behind. Nathan Gorham in the 120 kilo division.
This is more than 700 pounds in the bar. We've got 705
second
pounds on the bar.
attempt.
Yep.
Incredible lifting here. His debut to the Powerlifting America national stage.
And you know what? He's a little high on one side, so he might be 2-1 again. Okay. Yep.
You've got a good eye. Let's watch this replay. 2-1, it's a good lift. Yeah, and this was the side where he got a white light. Seemed like the other side gave the red light, so I think you're right. He's got some sort of an imbalance there.
Hey, 2 is all you need. 2 whites is all you
Yep,
need.
exactly. And he is, I mean, he's lifting
go, Rob.
alone as the 128 kilo lifter in the primetime session. But now Rob Ward, 325 kilos on his second attempt. His opener absolutely flew. He's contending for the title against James Farrier.
That opener looked really clean, too. I think he should handle this no problem.
Wow,
Nice.
that is a huge squat, 716 pounds. Looking
Solid.
super well. 3 white lights for Rob Ward.
Look great. I love his color coordination, too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have third attempts. Third attempts coming up. 529 pounds for Todd Strong.
So all these men are in the meet.
Yep, no one is going to be risking bombing out, at least not in squats. Everyone's got a lift in. Always relieving to see.
Yep.
Now we are back to the top of the order, on to third attempts for these male Masters 1 lifters. Todd Straub is going to start us off with a 240 kilo squat, currently projected in second place, looking for a rematch against Jonathan Losa, and some newcomers in the mix. They'll be battling out for the podium, potentially a title.
And you know what? All these 83 men are really executing on their squats. They know it's a tight battle. They know they need to make all their lifts.
Yeah, let's see Todd continue that trend here. 240 kilos in the bar. Placed silver at last year's Nationals. Trying to move up to gold. Ooh, I think that was a really good call for his third attempt. See what
That
they say on
looked
the
like
depth.
the perfect third attempt.
3 white lights.
Beautiful.
Lift, adding those pivotal 7.5 kilos to his total. And yeah, I mean, that feels good when you've got an attempt that is difficult, leaving what you've got on the platform. And it's difficult to make those calls as a game day handler.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very difficult. Now, Chad Schroeder, another lifter, trying to add 7.5 kilos to his total. In the mix of the 83 kilo lifters, always a stacked division. Seemingly no matter what age division you're in.
Oh, yeah.
Masters, Open, Sub-Juniors, Juniors. 247.5 for Chad.
Ooh.
Just a little too much on the day.
But you know what? I appreciate that he went to depth.
I do too. I mean,
If he
depth
got
look-
that up, it would have been
Let's
good.
watch this. Depth look, no question. You know what? He didn't try to fight through it. He wasn't at that sticking point for 10 plus seconds trying to fight through. As soon as he knew it wasn't going, he let
Sometimes
the
you
spotters
gotta
take it.
Yeah, sometimes you got to save your energy. You just know it's not there, and then you don't want to gas out for bench and deadlift. Leave a little in the tank.
Michael Horan in the 74 kilo division, having to repeat his opener. Got it in, got on the board, now taking a 15 kilo jump to 250 kilos. Wow,
All
that
right.
looked good.
Well, that was a max.
Yeah, and that
see what the
actually
judges think.
matches his personal best in competition. Oh, unfortunately.
2-1. It did look a little bit borderline on depth.
Okay, yeah, I can see it now that we've got that side angle. Looks borderline. They could have that conversation with the jury. I don't think they're going to.
He's the only 74, so they don't. I would say that conversation is probably not worth their time. Just keep moving.
Yeah, still walks away with that second attempt. He's on the board. Jonathan Losa, defending national champion. Plays silver at Worlds, trying to make his return. 252.5 on the bar. This actually matches the best he's done in competition yet.
And you know what? It's not all about hitting PRs at national championships. It's about making lifts.
Yeah, I mean, especially as a Masters lift, it's difficult to hit PRs.
Ooh.
That moved well for him.
Very good.
Jonathan Losa going 3 for 3 in the squad event. 3 white lights, building that strong momentum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a national record attempt, nearly 600 pounds. As we
Now,
look
Ross
at the
LaPala.
bar.
This is a big, big squat. 271.5 kilos, trying to break his own national record in the 83 kilo class.
Hey, he's already got a record on the board. But why not throw on another 5?
Yep, and he was the favorite in this class, but he's also the newcomer to the Powerlifting America stage, whereas the other competitors have been on international stages, NAPFs, Worlds. Ross really executing thus far. See if he can continue that to break his own national record. Nearly 600 pounds here on the bar. Oh, I thought he was going to be able to fight through that.
He was so close.
Unfortunately, that's a no lift for Ross LaPala.
Hey, he's still walking away with a national record squat. And given that that was only a 5 kilo jump,
Didn't miss out on too much.
no. I mean,
Didn't
maybe
leave
he
too
had
much on the
2.5,
table there.
or maybe his second attempt was just, I mean, it moved well, but maybe he used all of his energy for that second attempt. But regardless, it's a national record, so
Yep.
good for him.
And based on forecasted, he is He's got a gap between him and Tonstrop, Jonathan Losa. But again, lots of lifting left to go.
All right, adding 7.5 kilos from his second attempt.
Lane Norton, always bringing the energy.
Let's go, Lane.
Former Masters world champion, trying to make his return. 292.5.
Now Lane is not messing around. If this gets hard, we know he's going to fight.
Defending two-time national champion. Oh yeah, he's a fighter.
Yep.
And we knew he would be. Putting on a show. What did the judges say?
Okay.
3 white lights. That's a good lift for
Love
Lane
it.
Norton. Starting off the
a
day strong.
Perfect third attempt.
Yeah, that was the perfect call there from the staff, from the coaching staff.
And you know what? All of his squats were a little bit sticky today, but I knew that he would activate another gear for that
Honestly,
second
on
and
his
third
opener,
attempt.
I was a bit worried. It was a little bit slow out of the hole, but he's a fighter, man.
That's what you call experience.
James Farrier, 300 kilos on the bar for his final squat. This would be a 5-kilo PR for him.
He's got to be careful with those knees.
Yeah, last time he was threatening soft knees at the end of the squat.
He's been 2-1 on his opener and his second, so.
Under heavy fire from broadboard. Just a little bit too much on the day. No lift. And it kind of similar to a previous lifter where he didn't fight with it for a long time. I mean, barely any time. He kind of knew that it wasn't going to be there. Now, you still get the fatigue of failing the squat, having that on your back, trying to hit it.
Yeah. But these Masters lifters know if it's not going to go, it's just not going to go. Don't bother. Let the spotters take it. They're professionals.
Now, Michael Garozzo in the hunt for the title. Moving up a weight class in the 105-kilo division. Missed his opener, was forced to retake it. Missed it on depth, now jumping 15 kilos to 305.
I think he's got the strength for this. He just has to apply that same adjustment that he made on his second to his third attempt, and he'll be good.
Yeah, and if he misses this, he's missing out, leaving a lot on the table here in his fight against Carlos Santoliquido. Dep looked good, at least from the front. 15 kilos. Stands up with it. See what the judges say. 2-1. It's a good lift.
Perfect third attempt. You can argue 2-1 is more perfect than three white lights.
Yeah, because you just met the standard right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that was very difficult. I mean, having to repeat your opener, jumping 15 kilos, it's risky. If you miss those 15 kilos, you are behind. Now, speaking of missing an attempt, Carlos Santoliquido, reigning national and world champion in the 120s, dropping down, missed his second attempt of 300 kilos based on not squatting deep enough, and he got 3 red lights for that. Decided to jump 7.5 kilos anyways. Maybe feeling the pressure from being in that battle with Michael.
And you know what? If he gets this, he's going to be 2.5 ahead of Michael, leading into bench. So this is an important third attempt for him. Let's see it, Carlos. Nice fight.
Looked like a good call based on strength, and Dep looked good from the front. See what they say. 2-1.
There
it's
we
a good
go.
lift.
It was worth the risk.
Yeah, worth the risk. The risk pays off, and sometimes it burns you, but there, Carlos able to pick up. I mean, considering that he missed his second attempt, it was very risky. He could have been missing out on 15 kilos there.
Again, it's always a calculation of like how hard did that second look? Was it close on depth? Where does your competitor stand? It's always a calculation. It looks like in this event, that played up in his favor.
Now Nathan Gorham, 335 kilos, took a big 20-kilo jump, now taking a 15-kilo jump. This would be a 2.5-kilo personal best for him. He's never been on the Powerlifting America national stage before, having his debut in the Primetime session. I
That
think
was
that
a
was the
fight.
perfect call for his third attempt. See what the judges say.
Oh,
2-1.
darn it.
See his coach run over to the jury, having that conversation. Yeah, and it looked good to me. It was close. It was on the border.
Again, I think he's got that one high hip, but
They're gonna have that conversation. We'll keep you updated if that ends up getting overturned. But now, our
see
last
it, Rob.
squat of the Masters.
338
won
kilos.
Primetime.
That must be a record.
Yep, that is going to be a national record for Rob Ward. Coming in hot, fighting against the national champion in James Farrier. Trying to pick up that pivotal chip advantage.
Let's see it, Rob. 745 pounds. Let's go.
Here.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah, the fight comes and he's ready for it. Smooth, slow, and steady all the way through. 2-1. It's a new national record for Rob Ward. He is fired up for that, as
Love
I
it.
would be too.
That's amazing.
That is going to be it for
Wow.
the squad event of the Masters 1 Primetime session. We had many, many national records, including Ross LaPalma. Just now, Rob Ward. We're seeing some battles unfold in many divisions. And
That was exciting.
yeah, that was exciting, and the excitement is going to continue in just 10 short minutes. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Do not go far. We
And
are
you know
going
what?
to return for the bench press event.
These guys made it exciting for us because there were a few missed openers, there were a few missed second attempts.
It makes
and
it interesting.
It
makes
does make it interesting,
In the perfect world, everyone would make all of their attempts, but it makes it a little more interesting.
for sure.
Don't go anywhere. Come back in 10 short minutes to the Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals Masters 1 Primetime session. We will see you then. welcome back to the 2024 Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals Masters 1 Primetime Session. I'm your host, Adriana Davis, joined in the booth by Chelsea Savitt, and we are going to get started here in the bench press event.
After an exciting squat session.
Yeah, the squat session was very, very exciting. We saw some battles developing across the board, 57s, 63s, lots of battles. Kelly Tonini gonna get us started with 60 kilos, flies off the chest, exactly how you want an opener to look. I expect that to be good. And it is, three white
Good to
lights.
me. Yeah, key thing to look out for here is if they get a long press command, like if it looks like it's on the chest for a while, it's because it's a little bit bouncy, so they're only gonna get that press once it's completely at rest.
Yep, exactly. And a lot of these lifters, they practice having what we call a soft touch so that they get that press command as fast as possible. Whereas other lifters might prefer a sinking style.
Yep, we'll probably see a little bit of a variety here today.
Now, Erin Riddle had a phenomenal squat day. First national championships ever, and she squatted 2 national records, ending up with 143 kilos. Gonna be in a battle here with Astrid Dralamo, opening up with 62.5 kilos. Moves it pretty easily.
Yeah, she got that press command really quickly too because she took it
She
down
had
to her
it
chest and it
motionless.
was motionless right away. That's what you want.
Next up, we've got Noelle Brigden.
Now, Noelle Brigden in the 52 kilo class, barely in the 52 kilo class, weighing just over 47 kilos.
She could have done 47. Although who knows, maybe she cut to 47.05.
She
Nobody
could have.
knows.
Opening up with a 67.5 kilo bench press. Competing since 2017, has been to the national stage, world stage. Yeah, she's shaky, but it moves fast. Some lifters, they're just shaky on all their attempts.
Yeah, I mean, some
Let me
people
see if
take it
that
down really
continues.
slow. Some people we see a shake. But looked like a clean lift to me. And to the judges.
Now, Astrid Dralamo, 70 kilos for her opening attempt. Again, in the hunt for the national title against Erin Riddle.
She really unloaded everything on squat there with 127.5 on her second and missing 130 on her third. That's how you know you squatted everything you had today.
Easy.
And something we're going to be looking for with these lifters on bench is the elbow depth rule, where we're looking at the kind of where the elbow comes down when they're on the chest relative to their shoulder joint.
Yep, so
And-
it's got to be parallel with that shoulder joint.
Has to be at least parallel, yep. So some of these lifters might, you know, if they're coming over to Powerlifting America, they might have had to change their bench press to accommodate those rules.
We
So
could definitely see that come into play. Now, Amy Mason up against Jennifer Sauter, opening up with 72.5 kilos. Easy weight. 3 white lights. It's a good
Yep.
lift for Amy. Was able to get redemption in the squat event. Had the scare of her life, missing her second attempt based on strength, coming back and hitting it on her third.
that was so impressive. I love to see that. I mean, I don't love to see a missed second attempt, but it is really cool when you miss the second attempt and you come back and get
hit
on
it.
your third.
Now, Jennifer Sauter always gets fired up, always brings the energy. 72.5 kilos for her opening attempt. I expect this to fly. Her bench training has been going very, very well. Has a personal best with 80 kilos.
Nice.
And it flew.
Solid bench by Jennifer Sauter.
And on these bench jumps, we are going to expecting more of the smaller jumps towards 2.5, 5 kilos. 7.5 kilos, especially when you're benching under 90 kilos, is a big percentage.
Yeah.
And even speaking about body weight, it could be a big percentage of your body weight. So you are going to see those smaller jumps more often out of the bench press when compared to the squat and deadlift. That's perfectly okay. Alexa Spursky in the 69 kilo class, opening up with 72.5. Just 5 kilos under her personal best. And again, she has won nationals in the 76 kilo class, dropping down a weight class. Easy work there.
Look good.
It's a good lift, judges agree.
She looks happy.
Coming in on the platform, Ellis Bradshaw.
Now, Ellis Bradshaw, we are jumping to the 84 kilo class. Ellis Bradshaw coming in to contend with previous national and world champion in Charity Woodard, starting off with 80 kilos.
And you know what? She's in a bit of a battle with Charity Woodard. She does have body weight advantage, so I think that she's just going to be trying to make all her lifts. Set her up really well.
Taking her time with that setup, knowing that she's got that full minute to use to her advantage.
Nice.
Yep. Easy work there. 3 white lights, good lift for Ellis. Now her competitor, direct competitor, coming out right after her. We can kind of compare the speeds of those openers. I mean, Ellis has moved very, very fast. Charity now opening up with 85 kilos. Very new to the sport, only started competing in 2023.
Oh, wow. A newcomer.
And her resume already, national champion, world champion. Gonna be wanting to add more to that. But Ellis is going to threaten it here today. Slow descent, got a bit of a delay with that start command, but it didn't matter. Moved super fast regardless.
Yeah, you're not going to get that start command on bench until all 3 judges put their hands down to indicate that the setup is ready, that their butt's on the bench, their elbows are locked.
Yeah, on bench, you've got a lot to look for as a judge. That's why sometimes there'll be a little bit of a delay if something's maybe in question or on the border, like, oh, is your butt completely on the bench? Are your elbows completely locked? Now, Lynette Bogdan, 87.5 for her opening attempt. Previous national champion in the 84 kilo class. Has that world level experience as well.
Did not look too easy, but it was clean. She's definitely got more in the tank.
Yeah, it was clean.
Next up on the platform,
And I agree with you. Not super, super fast like we've seen from other openers, but it was still pretty smooth all the way through. Now Esther Scott, we are staying in the 76 kilo division. Esther being the favorite to win, opening up with 90 kilos. Strong bench press here, just about 200 pounds. Easy.
Look good.
Yep, look really good.
And you know what? Some lifters, they opt to not go max width on their grip. So she was a little more narrow than she had to be, but looks good for her.
Yeah, it's always dependent on how the lifter is built, their strength profiles, just their preference. Some lifters may think, oh, max grip is the solution for me long term, but that's not always the case.
Not universally the case.
Now, Melissa Copeland, 115 kilos for her opening attempt.
That's a nice big opener.
253 pounds. As the returning national champion, she's the strong favorite to win in the class. I mean, as long as she gets in her openers on bench and deadlift, she will be good, but she is trying to put up the best performance she can, trying to get on that national team.
That almost looked too easy for her.
Way too easy. 3 white lights, good lift for Melissa. And
Yeah, she's got room in the tank.
she's an executionist. I expect nothing less out of her opener.
Good to see everyone getting their opener benches.
Yeah, and nothing looked crazy hard. Sometimes you've got different variables, a cut, travel. and
Maybe
somet-
squat was just too hard.
And sometimes that can take a hit. But everyone looked good so far. Some just phenomenal lifting in this primetime session. Kelly Tonini, 5 kilo jump to 65 kilos.
Nice.
Look good. 3 white lights, good lift for Kelly. Continuing that momentum onward.
These women are really executing on bench. It's good to see.
Yeah, especially because with bench it is very difficult. I mean, I've seen so many times a lifter hits a lift, it flies, they jump 5 kilos, and it just doesn't come off the chest.
Yeah.
Just because that jump is relatively more of a percentage. Now, Erin Riddle,
But you know what? We're on the national stage here. These are experienced competitors. I think we're seeing really good attempt selection overall.
I think so too. Especially since these are masters lifters as opposed to perhaps sub-junior, junior lifters. They've just got a lot more experience in the game. Now, Erin Riddle, another 5 kilo jump, 67.5 kilos. Every attempt's gonna count.
Nice.
That moved well. That's a good lift. Interested to see if she goes 5 kilos and 2.5. I wouldn't expect anything like 7.5, considering she did make that 5 kilo jump from her first to second. Typically you're going to see either even jumps or a smaller jump to your third.
If I were her coach, I'd probably go with 2.5.
I think so too. I mean, actually that matched her personal best.
Okay.
So picking up a 2.5 kilo PR would be amazing, especially over first nationals. Now Noelle Brigden, 72.5 for her second attempt. Really a great bench press, especially
Nice.
considering that she's in this 52 kilo class, but weighing in just over 47.
That is a big bench for a 52 kilo lifter.
That's a good lift for her. Again, she has placed silver at Worlds in the 52s last year, looking to return.
I see why. She's strong.
Astrid Drolamo, 75 kilos for her second attempt.
We love a red plate bench.
Very satisfying there. In the 57 kilo class. Astrid's first time on the open national stage.
Looks like Astrid is not taking max width.
And again, that max grip, it seems like a good idea considering you're cutting your range of motion shorter, but it's not going to work for everybody.
And again, some of these lifters may have had to make some adjustments because of the new elbow depth rules. Either they're switching from the USAPL to PA, and one of the adjustments you could make is taking a closer grip.
Exactly. You've got to adjust. As an athlete, you've got to be adaptable no matter what. Now, Amy Mason, 2.5 kilo jump to 75 kilos. Her opener moved well, maybe playing it a bit more conservative after she ended up missing her second attempt in squat. Yeah, that moved well.
That moved really well. But you
3
know
white
what?
lights, good lift from Amy.
Bench is a funky lift where
It really is.
it could move really well, then you add 2.5 kilos and you get stapled on the chest. So
Yeah, and that was actually just 2.5 under her best bench in competition. So probably going to be looking to match that personal best. Alexa Spursky, another 2.5 kilo jump to 75 kilos in the 69 kilo class.
very methodical lifter.
Yeah, very methodical setup there. Taking her time with the setup too. Not trying to rush it. You see that with a lot of these lifters, they're not coming out rushing things. They're taking their time, knowing that they have that full minute to get the start command. Pretty good. 3 white lights.
Nice.
Next we got Jennifer Sauter.
Jennifer Sauter, 5 kilo jump to 77.5.
Let's go, Jen.
Newcomer to Powerlifting America. contending for a world's team spot. 77.5 for her second attempt, just 2.5 under her all-time best in competition.
Nice and clean. Very nice second attempt.
3 white lights, good lift for Jennifer.
I think she's got 2.5 or 5.
I think so too. They might want to play it a little more conservatively, take that 2.5, especially if they know that the 2.5 is almost guaranteed compared to the 5, where the 5 is like, even if it's like 90%, probably have that 5. You don't know if you might get a longer press command. You might have to replace the bar for some reason. Could mess you up.
She is in a really close battle here, so I would not be surprised if they go with 2.5. But I think she's got 5, maybe for the next meet, maybe for Worlds if she gets on the team.
Ellis Bradshaw, 5 kilo jump to 85 kilos.
Nice.
3 white lights, good lift for Ellis.
All these ladies making their second attempts.
Yeah, and I mean, Ellis hasn't missed a lift yet. Really important to have that level of execution on this stage, especially when you're in a tight battle like she is. Lynette Bogdan, 5 kilo jump to 92.5 kilos. We've crossed over the 200-pound barrier for these masters lifters. This is 204 pounds for Lynette. Had to put in a bit of work, but not too much, not an all-out grinder. 3 white lights, good lift. I expect them to probably just take the 2.5 kilo jump.
I think 2.5 is the right call. I think she'll be fine for it. It'll be a nice and clean third attempt.
Now, Charity Woodard, 7.5 kilo jump to 92.5. You see that kind of jump a little bit more often as you get towards the 90 kilos and up range.
Mm-hmm.
Defending her national title here. Every attempt's going to count. See how she handles this second attempt.
Nice.
Sounds it well. I was worried with a bit of a longer press command there, because it bobbed a little bit on the chest. 3 white lights, good lift. She is shaking her head no. Maybe it felt a little bit heavy, a little bit funky.
She definitely took it down pretty slowly, but again, some lifters just have a slow eccentric like that. It popped off the chest and moved really well.
Esther Scott in the 76 kilo division, 95 kilos. Pretty heavy favorite to win that class. Has to continue to execute though against Lynette. .95 kilos, this is 209 pounds.
Move
Really
well.
smooth. That's a good lift for Esther.
Next we got Melissa Copeland.
Now Melissa Copeland, returning national champion, 3-time world champion, 120 kilos on the bar for her.
She's executing really well today. £264 should not be a problem for her.
Yeah, I agree. Her opener moved fast. Again, just trying to build momentum. I mean, we mentioned it on her last attempt. If she stopped now and just hit her opener deadlift, she would win the class. That's not what she's after. She's going to want to put up best total she can, given that the world's team spots will be selected based on good lift points, based on who wins their class. That's a good lift, and that moved very, very well. Probably going to take another 5 kilo jump, just even across the board. And we are already on to third attempt bench presses. Kelly Tonini, 70 kilos for her final attempt. 70 kilos is going to match the best she's done in competition. She's got that experience, has competed on the national level, Even competed at the NAPF championships last year. And world team spots aren't the only thing on the line here. You could pick up another international team spot. That moved well.
That was an easy third attempt.
We could see a return to the NAPF championships later this year. Staying in the 57 kilo class, Erin Riddle. 2.5 kilo jump to 70 kilos. Erin, this is going to be a 2.5 kilo PR for her. First national championship ever. And she is on the front line. Currently forecasted first, but not that far ahead of Astrid.
Every 2.5 matters.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the battle could come down to at the end of the day.
I think that was the right third attempt.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, she looks happy.
Yeah, she's very happy with that. I mean, I would be happy too. 6 for 6 leading into deadlifts. Currently forecasted first.
Smiling from cheek to cheek. I'd be too.
Noelle Brigden. 2.5 kilo jump to 75 kilos. She's the sole lifter in the 52 kilo class. So as long as she gets a deadlift in, she's going to lock up that national title. She is a former national champion in the 47 kilo class. Yeah, that looked like the right call there.
I agree.
Smooth all the way through, slowed down, never came to a stop though.
Huh.
2-1, gets a blue card. I wonder what that was
Elbow
for.
depth, maybe?
Elbow depth would be a red card.
Okay.
So potentially that judge might have thought that her elbows were soft at the start or end, or maybe a downward motion.
Hey, she got the lift.
Yep, that's
So
all that
she's good.
matters. Astrid Girolamo, 77.5. Another, I mean, this is a lot more common in bench press. We are seeing these minimum 2.5 kilo jumps.
Nice.
That was nice.
You know what? She could have been good for another 2.5, but
You don't want to get too greedy,
yeah.
especially when you're in the battle and you could get greedy thinking, hey, I'm going to jump 5 kilos, and then you miss out on that 2.5. That could make and break
Yeah.
the battle.
Amy Mason.
Amy Mason, 77.5 kilos. Defending her national title here. Trying to match her best benching competition. I think this should go. Her second attempt moves pretty well. Really trying to have a turnaround from the squat event.
Ooh,
That moved well.
move well.
Close to
I
that
think
press
she-
command. Let's see what the judges say. I think it should be fine.
Anticipation.
3 white lights.
Okay.
Good lift for Amy.
Okay.
Yeah, couldn't get close there with jumping the press command.
You know, sometimes you time it perfectly where you start to press as soon as you hear the P in press. Like,
it's a skill.
it is definitely
It's a skill, and it's a risky skill
Yeah.
at that.
You really shouldn't anticipate the press command, but some
It's
of us do
difficult
it.
to do when you're sitting there waiting. It
Yeah.
feels like forever. Now, Alexa Spursky, 77.5 kilos. Taking those 2.5 kilo jumps across the board.
Nice.
Perfect call there. 3
Yeah,
white lights. Good
she
lift for
looks
Alexa.
happy.
3 for 3 in the bench press. That always feels good. Jennifer Souther. Here she comes, fired up. 80 kilos on the bar, matching her personal best in the hunt for the world's team spot.
You know, she missed that opener squat, but she's really come back ever since.
Yeah, hasn't missed a lift since then. That looked like the right call there.
Yeah.
Slow off the chest. I don't know if 2.5 would have gone. She's a grinder, but I think that was the right call. Don't want to risk it.
Jen is definitely a grinder. I think that was the right move, though. Something that could happen on like a third attempt on bench is you get a longer press command because you're a little more wobbly on the chest.
Exactly.
And that just makes it a lot harder to press it up. So
yeah, you're a lot
factoring all
closer
that
to your
in.
top end. Maybe perhaps taking a weight you've never hit before, and you might be a little more shaky. Ellis Bradshaw, 90 kilos on the bar for her. Would match the best she's done in competition. Newcomer to the Powerlifting America national stage, but she has been competing since 2019.
Oh, come on.
That's going to be our first miss of the day in the third attempt bench press.
That was close. She just needed a little more speed in that sticking point.
Let's see. Waits for the press command. Just off the chest. A lot of times that is a big sticking point, especially if you're using closer to a max grip. It's going to be hard off the chest, and once you break through that sticking point, you can grind it out, but the issue is trying to break through that sticking point.
Yeah, the issue is always looking at that speed at the slowest point of the lift.
Lynette Bogdan, 95 kilos for her third and final attempt. I'm going to try to go 6 for 6 on the day. Oh, wow. Breaks through the sticking point. You saw what I saw. Potentially some up-down.
There might have been some down-up.
There we go. Yeah, the judges
okay.
saw that too. Let's see this on the replay. It was barely there. There it is. See it, the
it was
bar
right
dip.
at the sticking point.
Now you can come up unevenly, but if the whole entirety of the bar dips, then that's going to be a no lift.
And it dipped on both sides.
Esther Scott, 97.5 for her final attempt bench press.
Looking to add another 2.5 to her total.
Yeah, she's forecasted ahead against Lynette, but she's got to continue to execute, make sure she keeps that lead. It's a little bit of a longer press command. Ooh, big battle there from her. Her against the weight, and I think she has won.
She's a fighter.
Really gritty attempt there. Bit of anticipation, waiting for the lights. There it is.
Okay.
Through it lights, good lift.
I was a little concerned about down-up motion, but sometimes we see some things in the live stream and judges don't see it. Or
Yeah, and of course they're seeing the action right up close and personal.
That's right.
We're watching from the screen.
Yeah. Got a smaller jump between her second and third than her first and her second.
Yeah, Cherny took a 7.5 kilo jump, now taking a 5 kilo jump. This will be a 2.5 kilo PR for her. Let's see if she can hit it, gain these extra 5 kilos in that battle with Ellis. That looked good.
Yeah, the advantage of taking slightly bigger jumps is that you save your energy a little more.
Yeah, exactly. You're not, if you're taking just 2.5 kilo jumps, now that's a bit more common in the bench, but if you're doing that in squat, you're squatting close to your top end 3 times. It's going to be an energy zapper.
Yeah. 125 bench.
125, 275 pounds. I mean, you have experience knowing how this feels in your hand. 275 pounds.
2 red plates just looks really good in photos.
And holding that in your chest.
But she handled 120 really well. She's comfortably in the lead. She may as well go for it.
Yeah, I expect this to go based off her previous 2 attempts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was fairly easy,
Love
too.
it.
Just hits a bit of a sticking point, but fights through it. No big issue there. 3 white lights, 3 for 3. And she has 6 for 6 on the day. And we are seeing the standings in the bench press. Only 2 missed attempts. Execution is on point here with these Masters lifters. Moving on to the second flight, the men's flight of the Masters 1 Primetime session. Chad Schroeder in the 83 kilo class. Going to start us off with 137.5. And I guess that's our starting point because the weight on the bar is not going to go back down over 300 pounds for Chad's opening attempt.
These are some strong benches we're going to see.
Has a bit more of a sinking style, so gets that slightly longer press command, but it is no problem for Chad.
Also the close grip.
Michael Horan, 140 kilos on the bar for his opening attempt.
That's a 308-pound bench press.
His personal best is only 7.5 kilos up for this. Let's see how he handles this.
Okay.
Yeah, fairly well. Has a slight sticking point in the middle, but nothing to worry about. Bars load for Lane Norton, legendary name in the game. 155 kilos for his opening attempt. Former Masters World Champion.
It's 341 pounds.
I expect this to fly. I mean, as previous competition, the NAPF Championships, where he competed against Michael Garozzo, he also opened up with 155 kilos. Ended up at 167.5, so perhaps this will fly. Let's see it.
Nice.
Yeah, moved fairly well. 3 white lights. Good lift for Lane Norton. Michael Garozzo, 162.5 for his opening attempt.
358 pounds.
Moving up a weight class in a hunt for the title between him and Carlos Santoliquito. They're meeting in the middle. Michael is going up a weight class. Carlos is going down a weight class. It's a clash of titans here.
These guys are neck and neck, too. Nice. Looked like work, but 358 pounds is a lot of weight. Todd Schropp coming out next to 170 kilos for his opener attempt. In the hunt for the 83 kilo battle, he's previously competed at Nationals. Last year he placed silver at Nationals, went on to compete at the NAPF Championships. Todd executed really well on squat. Usually that's a sign that you're going to execute really well in the other lifts too.
Yeah, I mean, his third squat looked like the perfect call. Went 3 for 3 in the squat event, trying to do the same in the bench.
Attempt selection on point today. Nice. That looked like an opener. That moved like an opener should move.
Oh,
Oh.
No lift. Gets those yellow cards. Let's see if we could see anything wrong.
Oh, maybe it was butt.
I am not sure. I think it could have been either his butt lifting off the bench or perhaps his heel not completely on the ground.
It did look really good. Looked really strong.
Yeah, it looked fast. So considering he is in a battle, I'll be interested to see if he repeats that or goes up anyways. But first, Carlos Santoliquito, 170 kilos for his opening attempt. In a big battle between him and Michael Garozzo.
It looked like he almost anticipated that press
It
command,
looks-
but then
yeah,
waited
and
for it.
stopped for it. He did have a bit of a fast descent, a little bit of a sinking style, so I think that is why he got very, very slightly delayed press command. That press command is going to come when the bar is completely motionless on the chest.
But you know what? Experience is knowing to wait for that press command.
He's got experience, former world champion, national champion. Now, Ross Lapala, in the 83 kilo class, opening up with 172.5. Currently leading the way based on forecasted total. Favorite to win, but he's got to continue to execute. Hasn't been to Worlds like these other fellas have.
Nice bench.
Yeah, and he started off the bench strong. 3 white lights, good lift.
3 white lights. Next up we got Rob Ward.
Some lifters just look very stoic on the platform.
Yeah, even in the squat event, he was very, very stoic, very calm.
Rob, very animated.
172.5 for Rob Ward's opening attempt. Again, another battle between him and defending national champion James Farrier in the 120 plus kilo division. Easy.
Nice opener for Rob.
Good lift. Rob really having a good day so far. I mean, walked away with that national record attempt. 338 kilos from his third squat, gaining that pivotal chip advantage in the fight against James Farrier. Jonathan Losa, defending 83 kilo national champion. 182.5 for his opening attempt. Big bench press opener here, even in the open division, 400 pounds.
Gotta love that smile walking up to the bench press. You could just tell he likes the bench.
Yep, yep, he's clearly a bench specialist. I mean, 182.5, and I imagine this is gonna go easy.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Yep, and he's fired up. Really wants to return to that world stage
That was
that
a
he was at
402
last
pound
year.
bench press.
Yeah, and you gotta stop to think about that. 402 pounds from this 83 kilo lifter, master's lifter at that.
As an opener.
Yeah, moved awesome.
Nathan Gorham.
Nathan Gorham in the 120 kilo division, the sole 120 kilo lifter in the primetime session. 195 on the bar. I think I just love seeing any bench over 400 pounds. This is about 430 pounds.
He's got a close grip too.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna have a long range of motion there. Got those longer arms. But he's strong nonetheless. He's got the personal best of 215 kilos. Yeah, look at that.
Maybe we'll see
Look
some
at that
big jumps here.
range. No question on elbow depth.
Wow, nice.
3 white lights, good lift.
Everybody's making their openers. We love to see it.
Next up, James Farrier.
Now James Farrier coming out to big opener, 205 kilos.
I think he changed his singlet.
He might have. Some
Nothing-
lifters like to do that. You've got a break in between for a reason.
He did not change those socks though. I remember those socks from squat. All right.
451 pounds. Again, in the hunt to defend his title against newcomer Rob Ward.
205 is a big opener for bench.
Another one of our lifters with that closer grip, has that long range of motion. But it doesn't matter, he's strong regardless. 3 white lights, good lift.
Nicely done.
Chad Schroeder.
We are back to the top of the order. Chad Schroeder, 142.5. Relatively conservative 5 kilo jump, especially at this weight. See how he handles it. As a reminder, he's in the 83 kilo division. Newcomer to the Powerlifting America national stage. Possibly going to be contending to pull for a podium position. Has that slight sinking style.
Also a close grip.
It's a good lift. Fairly smooth attempt.
It's not all about having the shortest range of motion on bench.
Next up, we have Michael Harris.
Yeah, I mean, some lifters, they're just going to be a little bit stronger in the triceps. And that's why they prefer that close grip. Sometimes lifters, they try the max grip and it hurts. They've got some pec issues.
Yeah, wider grip tends to be a little bit more tough on the shoulders, the pecs.
Michael Horan, 74 kilo division, trying to match his personal best here, 147.5.
Nice soft touch.
Oh, and the fight comes. Think it should be good. To the
Okay.
one, it's a good lift, gets a blue card, likely for up and down motion. Let's watch this replay.
Next up, Lane North.
I don't think the entirety of the bar went up down. But yeah, I imagine he's gonna take a 2.5 kilo jump from there.
Yeah.
Either that or he could potentially scratch, thinking that, hey, maybe that's all I have left. Don't want to waste any more energy. Lane Norton always fired up. 10 kilo jump here. 165 kilos for his second attempt.
363 pounds in the bar.
I mean, yeah, and he's got experience in the game. National champion, former Masters world champion. He's even played second in the open division back in the day.
Nice.
Bit of work, bit of a fight, but he's ready for it, as we saw in the squad event. 3 white lights, good lift for Lane. Bars loaded for Todd Schraub in the 83 kilo class. Missed his opening attempt.
But you know what? It moved really well. I think he doesn't have any issues on strength here. Maybe just has to clean up a technical thing. Not quite sure what he missed out on, but
Yeah, he got yellow cards from the side referees. So we thought that that was potentially his butt lifting off the ground, or maybe his feet were not completely flat on the floor.
either way, he just needs to clean that up because strength is there. Shouldn't be an issue. Nice.
Yeah, it moved well. And he's on the board. 3 white
Good.
lights. Good lift.
Next up, Michael.
Big sigh of relief there. I mean, and he knew he would get it. That kind of instills confidence when you miss an attempt, and as a handler, you're talking with your lifter, and you just decide to repeat it. You know you have the strength for it, whereas if you go up, potentially those doubts can creep in, thinking that, oh, maybe I could miss it. Michael Garozzo, 170 kilos on the bar for his second attempt. Really in a tight match between him and Carlos Santoliquito. Only 2.5 kilos separates them based on forecasted total. Got a lot of lifting left to go still.
Nice.
Bit of work. Bit of work for a second attempt. To the one, it's a good lift. Gets a blue card. Don't think there was any up and down motion. It was smooth all the way through. Even his handler looks a little bit confused. Perhaps for his elbows being soft, not exactly sure. They're going to make sure to ask so that he doesn't have the same technical mishap on his third attempt.
Yeah, if you get one red with a blue or a yellow card, it's always important to find out why did you get that blue or yellow card so that you can clean it up for the following attempt.
Now, we can kind of compare speeds here. Michael hit 170 kilos. Now Carlos coming out to 177. Let's see how this moves compared to Michael's second.
Did he hit the rack?
I don't think he did. I think
Okay.
he just hit a little bit of a sticking point towards the top.
Okay.
Through lights, good lift for Carlos. He kind of shrugs it off, so this is fine. I expect him probably take something like a 5 kilo jump maybe. It wasn't the easiest second attempt, but in my mind's eye, it was easier than Michael's second. Now, Ross Lapala, currently in the lead based on forecasted total in the 83 kilo battle.
We've got 402 pounds on the bar.
Big bench. Ross, we knew coming in that he was strong. He was potentially going to be a favorite, but he's going to have to execute. And he is thus far. See if he can continue that with this second attempt.
Nice.
Yeah, a little slow off the chest, but smooth all the way through. Through with white lights. Good lift for Ross. Continuing to execute on the day. Build that lead. Kind of tell the other competitors that, hey, You're battling for silver, battling for bronze. You're not going to take my gold.
I think a conservative jump for his third would be appropriate there.
I think so too, especially considering that he is in the lead. You're not going to want to start making crazy jumps, just kind of throwing away the lead that you have. You're going to want to continue to build that lead. Rob Ward, 182.5 stays on the bar for him. Currently projected with an 800.5 kilo total, while James, who's the national champion, projected with 790. Very, very close, 10 kilos. I mean, that's one missed deadlift, if that. One missed squat. One missed bench, excuse me.
Rob is executing really well today. Nice second bench. Definitely has at least 5 in the tank, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that moved pretty well. Jonathan Losa, 192.5 for his second attempt. Yeah, bench is his thing. He looks very, very confident here.
424 pounds in the bar. That's a big bench for an 83 kilo lifter.
Of any age, not just masters, any
That's right.
age. He did compete at bench press nationals in January, walked away with a 207.5 kilo bench. That was done very well.
Yeah.
3 white lights. Interesting to see where he goes from there. Maybe 7.5 kilos at least. I mean, moved pretty well. And he is under what he hit at bench press nationals. Oh, you know what? That was, now that I'm looking at it, that was equipped. Raw, he hit 195.
Okay.
He's kind of pacing to beat that.
I think 197.5 would be the right call. 200, probably 50-50, but, you know, sometimes you go for the 50-50 call.
Yeah, especially if the bench press is his thing. He knows he's going to gain the most kilos there if he's in the hunt for a podium position. Nathan Gorham. Big jump here, 12.5 kilos to 207.5. Nathan is our sole 120 kilo lifter.
With the heavier weight on the bar, though, you do want to think about conserving your energy, so those bigger jumps.
Taking those bigger jumps.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a balance. If you take too big of jumps, you could kind of shock your nervous system. You're not ready for the weight. But then at the same time, like you said, it would be kind of silly if Nathan was taking 2.5 kilo jumps.
Yeah.
Just wasting a lot of energy there. That moved well.
That looked really good.
Handled that 12.5 kilo jump very, very well. 3 white lights, good lift for Nathan. Continue to build up his total. James in the 120 plus kilo division, taking a 10 kilo jump to 215 kilos, 474 pounds. He's got a personal best at 220 kilos, so we could see him hit the incremental PR. Just have to see how this moves. Yeah, look at his rack height. He's got a long range of motion there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that moved
That was a
well.
lot of power off the chest.
Yeah. Strong off the chest, regardless of that long range of motion. 3 white lights, good lift.
Yeah, he looks like he just needs to get that big speed off the chest in order to push through a higher sticking point with that long range of motion.
Yeah, and typically with a closer grip, that is going to be where that sticking point is, towards the
Closer
end
to
of the
lockout.
lift. Yep. We are on to third attempt bench presses. Chad Schroeder taking just a 2.5 kilo jump, the minimum amount you can, to 145. I think this is the proper call. His second attempt was a little bit sticky, a little slow. That moved good.
Nice.
And kind of just what we were saying, he had a little bit of a sticking point towards the lockout. But he's able to fight through, go 3 for 3 in the bench.
Very smooth third attempt bench. Michael Harron also taking a 2.5 kilo jump to his third attempt.
In the 74 kilo division, Michael, as long as he makes a deadlift, he's going to be your national champion. Trying to build the biggest total he can here. at these 2.5 kilos. Really good fight from him towards the top.
I think that was a good lift. Let's
Yeah,
see
I
what the
think it
judges
was
say.
too. Looked pretty clean. Green
Nice.
white lights. They agree with you. That is a good lift.
Bars loaded, Lane Norton.
Lane Norton. 5-kilo jump to 170 kilos. Stalking the platform there. Really ready to take this final bench attempt. Try to go 6 for 6 on the day.
One thing about Lane, he knows how to execute. Oof. That was the perfect third attempt. Let's see what the judges say.
Yeah, he's
Well done.
fired up. Perfect third attempt.
Well done. 6 for 6 for Lane.
Next up, Michael Gorozo.
Michael Garozzo coming up next. 2.5-kilo jump. The minimum jump he can, but he is in the hunt, in the battle against Carlos in that 105-kilo division. Needs every kilo he can possibly get.
Again, attempt selection in this primetime session has been really good. I think that this is
I
going to be
think
the
their
right third
experience
attempt.
is really showing. A lot of these lifters have been on the world stage.
Very nice.
The fight comes, and he is ready to fight through it. Through it, like, it's a good lift.
And he looks happy with that.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with that, going 3 for 3, especially when you're in a tight battle and every kilo is going to count. Todd Schraub missed his opening attempt, some sort of technical mishap. Coming back, jumping 7.5 kilos after retaking it to 177.5.
He's got a nice and methodical setup here, taking his time. You have to get that perfect setup for your third attempt if you want to set yourself up to make it. Very nice. I wonder if that was his second attempt. His planned second attempt or his planned third, because it looked like he had more in the tank. I think he was good for maybe another 5.
Yeah, potentially, but it's really good redemption for him to miss that, come back, hit it. And it's difficult mentally, like we've talked about, to miss an attempt, come back, and then end up hitting your final attempt.
Right. It's always a question of, do you take your planned second as your third, or do you take your
It's a
planned third
difficult
as your third?
proposition, and
Or
it's a
somewhere in between.
conversation that is very worth having before the competition, so that you're not having to make those quick decisions on the fly within the minute.
Very nice. That looked like the right third attempt for Carlos.
Yeah, going 3 for 3.
Nice.
Again, we've said time and time again, execution is going to matter when you're in a tight battle like he is with Michael Garozzo.
And these guys have the same forecasted total.
Wow.
Carlos and Michael.
It's going to come down to the last deadlift. That's what I can promise you. Ross Lapala, heavy favorite coming into this 83-kilo battle, but the question was if he could execute with his first time on the Powerlifting American National stage. He has thus far. Can he go 3 for 3 in the bench press?
Very nice. Let's see what the judges say.
3 white lights. It's a good lift for Ross. And yeah, he is forecasted well ahead in the class. It might be turning into a bit of a battle for podium position. Of course, he could drop the ball in the deadlifts. We'll have to see come that time.
Either way, he set himself up really well.
Rob is running to the platform. He is ready to hit this 190 kilos. Another battles all across the board here. Really such an exciting session. 190 kilos for Rob in the battle against national champion James Farrier. Bit of a long press command, but it does not matter. He fights up with it.
Yeah, he really got some good speed off the chest.
Super happy with that. As I would be too. He is 6 for 6 on the day.
He's really executing today.
Jonathan Losa, 201 kilos for his third and final attempt.
I guess this is a national record?
Yep, it
Has
is
to
a
be.
national record attempt in the 83 kilo division. Phenomenal lifting from Jonathan Losa.
Definitely a bit of an aggressive third attempt jump, in my opinion, but I think
We'll
if
see how he
psychs
handles
up,
it.
I think, yeah. I
Again,
think
they
he's got
might
a
be
good chance
thinking
at
that hey, this is our event. This is where we're going to cover some ground.
We're gonna get that chip.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even think about the chip advantage that he could have in the battle for the podium. Oh,
Nice.
I almost thought he lost it there when he hit that sticking point.
Let's see what
Fights
the judges
through
say.
it.
Yep.
3 white lights.
Love it.
New national record for Jonathan Losa.
Very impressive bench.
I mean, 83s are just doing phenomenally. We had a national record in the squat, national record in the bench. Hopefully we see one in the deadlift. James Ferrier, 222.5 for his final bench press attempt. About 490 pounds.
And I think this will be a 2.5 kilo PR for him if he gets it.
Yeah, it would be.
Based on his second, I think this is a good call.
I think it is too. His second moved fairly well. Got a lot of power off the chest. And when you're hitting these PRs, even if they're incremental PRs or if you're matching a PR in one discipline, hitting a PR in another, you're building up that total. And it's going to be ever the more important when you're in a battle. You don't want to get too greedy, try to hit PRs that are just not there on the day. Oh, the sticking point comes, but he fights through it, sticks with it.
He got just enough
I think that was the perfect
speed
call.
off the chest.
To the one.
Okay.
It's a good lift for James.
Nicely
Probably
done,
got that
James.
blue card for soft elbows, but nonetheless, it's a good lift.
Nicely
Awesome
done.
job from both lifters, Rob and James. It's really a fun battle when you see both lifters execute. Some missed lifts for the dramatics, but when you see them execute overall, it just makes for a really good battle.
It is nice to be here watching the meet and see these lifters doing really well because they've trained really hard for this meet.
We are on our final bench press of the Masters 1 Primetime session. Nathan Gorham, and what an attempt it is. 500 pounds on the bar. Took a big 20 kilo jump to this weight. Nathan has previously hit 215 kilos. This would be a big PR for him. He's likely thinking that, hey, he's the favorite to win the 120 kilo division. No one is really challenging for his title. Why not just go for it while you're on that national stage?
Yeah, it's definitely a little unusual to see a larger jump between second and third compared to first and second, but you know what? He probably just really wants to try that 501 bench, and he's probably good
for
for
that
it.
milestone.
May as well.
Let's see him hit it. Ooh, and it's, wow. Ooh. I don't think it's going to go. Yep, he shakes his head no, but it came off the
so
chest.
close.
It wasn't a completely YOLO bench where it just didn't come off the chest at all. And that is it for the bench press event of the Masters 1 Primetime division.
Yeah, with that 501 bench, Nathan he just needed a little more speed off the chest, I think.
Yeah, we
to push
saw,
him through that sticking point.
Looking across the board, there were only 4 missed bench attempts across both flights. Phenomenal job there from these Masters lifters. Execution is on point, and it will continue to be on point, or it should continue to be on point as we head into the deadlifts. After a 10-minute break, we're going to see these battles come to a close. Many battles across the board in the 57s between Aaron and Astrid, 63s between Amy and Jennifer, deciding who's going to be the national champion, who's going to walk away with that world's team spot. Don't go far. We will be back in 10 short minutes to conclude the Masters 1 Primetime session of Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. Welcome back to the Masters 1 Primetime. We've already got it started. Noelle Brigden opens up with 130 kilos.
Nice, strong sumo deadlift opener.
And this is really where the fun begins in this Masters 1 Primetime session of Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. This is where placings are decided, totals are solidified. These lifters are really going to show their heart on the platform. Every lifter has the same goal, or not the same goal, but a lot of these lifters that are in the battle, they share that goal of trying to walk away with a national title, a world's team spot. Kelly Tonini opens up with 130 kilos. Fairly smooth, 3 white lights for her. Let's see how this moves on the replay.
Got a little sticky, but
Yeah, a little sticky.
conventional's a
Towards the
lift
knees.
where you
can
just
grind through it.
Yeah.
Erin Riddle, pretty big opener, 57 kilo lifter, opening up with 142.5. Now the fun thing is she's going to be in a tight battle between her and Astrid. Yeah, that moved well.
Nice.
Almost had a bobble at the top, but I think she saved it. 3 white lights, good lift. And yeah, Erin is going to be ending this battle between her and Astrid Gerolamo. Both are making their debut to the Powerlifting America Open National stage. And they are tight, not only in their total, but in the deadlifts too, which is what makes it all the more exciting. They're likely going to be fighting back and forth on who is going to end up pulling last. And if you got that last pull, you're going to know exactly what you need to hit.
Nice.
Astrid, smooth opener with 145 kilos.
Between Erin and Astrid, it looks like Erin has both body weight advantage and she's got a chip. So Astrid's just going to have to overcome that chip and body weight advantage that Erin has, but it's all going to come down to third deadlifts.
And in the 63 kilo division, returning national champion, world's competitor, Amy Mason, opening up with 162.5. And again, the fun thing is her direct competitor, Jennifer, going to open at the same weight. We get to compare those speeds back to back. A little bit sticky for an opener. Actually, pretty slow for an opening attempt. Kind of had a similar situation with her opening squat, where it was a bit slower than we expected. She ended up failing her second.
You know what?
But she's got a lot of heart, was able to come back and hit it on her third.
Sumo's a really technical lift, though. If she was just like a little bit too far away from the bar.
Oh, yeah, that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Jennifer Souther, 162.5 for her opening attempt. Yeah, and that moved well.
She's got a smile on her face.
Yeah, and I've seen Jennifer's lifts. She can grind out a deadlift. So that currently puts Jennifer at a 392.5 kilo total, whereas Amy sits at a 382.5. Just 10 kilos apart. Alice Bradshaw coming up next, 165 on the bar for her opening attempt. And again, these lifters, Ellis versus Charity in the 84 kilo division, but also those two against Amy Hutchinson's total from the regular session, 427.5 is what they're going to have to beat. Ellis hits a pretty smooth opener, 165 kilos.
One
Gets
red,
one
though.
red card. That's going to be for...
Maybe it was for lockout?
Yeah, it's going to be for soft lockout. Probably in the shoulders or the hips. But she's still on the board. Gets those 2 white lights that you need. And again, back-to-back lifts from these competitors. Charity Woodard, reigning world champion, 175 kilos for her opening attempt. This will give her a 422.5 kilo total, whereas Ellis currently sits at a 412.5, and Amy Hutchinson earlier achieved a 427.5 kilo total. That moved well for Charity.
Nice.
3 white lights, good lift for her. Starting off strong. Lynette in the 76 kilo division, opening up with 177.5. Very well.
Nice.
Moved very well. Former national champion returning to the stage. 3 white lights, a good lift for Lynette. Previous best total is 435 kilos. That gave her a 427.5. You can see her break that previous best total.
Looks like Esther is taking the same opener as Lynette.
And they're in the same weight class. Seems to be a trend where they're opening up fairly close. 177.5, 391 pounds for an opening attempt. Yep, moves like an opener
Very
should.
nice.
Very easy. Expect to see some jumps from her. 3 white lights, good lift for Esther. Strong favorite to win the 76 kilo class. And now Alexa Spursky coming out to 180 kilos. Now the highest total from the regular session was 347.5. This would give her a 410 kilo total, locking up that national championship win.
We've seen some very methodical setups and lifting from Alexa, and looks like we're seeing that as well on her deadlift.
Really showing that experience that she has. She's been on the international stage at Worlds and also the NAPF championships last year.
Wow. Very nice.
Snappy.
Snappy is the word.
3 white lights, good lift for Alexa. Melissa Copeland, 195 kilos for her opening attempt.
Melissa Copeland.
Trying to snag back that Worlds team spot.
Some really good execution from Melissa today.
And again, Melissa with this opening attempt will lock up that national championship win. But she wants more than that. She's going to want to put up the best total she can. Go 9 for 9. Have a great day.
Look good. Let's see what the judges say.
3
Nice.
white lights, good lift.
All right, and
Your new
everyone
national
got their
champion.
openers.
Oh, returning national champion. Picking up another win there. Almost seems anticlimactic. But as the former world champion, of course, she's going to be well ahead. Back to the top of the order, Kelly Tonini. 5 kilo jump to 135. She's likely going to be ending off in that bronze medal position in the 57 kilo class. Yeah, I think
Nice.
that was a good call there.
I think she's got a little gas for her third.
Yeah, I think so. 2.5, 5 kilo jump.
I'd say so.
Only missed 1 lift on the day. Gonna want to end off 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. Noelle Brigden, 137.5 for the 52 kilo lifter. Has that Team USA singlet on, indicating that she's been on the international stage. She's got experience in the game. 137.5. Awesome attempt there from her.
Nice
Judges
and clean.
agree. Good lift.
Clears the platform. Aaron Riddle.
All right, now we can kind of see, this is really why deadlifts are such a fun event. You can kind of see these battles unfold, come to fruition. Aaron Riddle, currently in the lead in the 57 kilo battle with 355.5. Astrid sitting at 350. Aaron's gonna go first, taking a 10 kilo jump, which will give her a 365.5 kilo total. That moved well.
You know,
Really
with
has
the
been
sumo,
executing all across the day.
the sumo deadlift is going to be a little bit slow off the floor, but the way that that snapped after she got a few inches off the floor, I think she's good for quite a bit more.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sumo
Now-
takes a lot of patience.
Yeah, definitely, and it takes a lot of to being technically sound too. Now Astrid Dralamo, Aaron's direct competitor, also taking a 10 kilo jump, trying to keep pace. This will give her a 360 kilo total. And I mean, just to put this into perspective, the winning total from last year's Masters Worlds was 350 kilos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so both of these lifters could be right in the mix if they both end up going to the World Championships. For Astrid, that was a good lift.
Coming to the platform. Amy Mason.
Now on to the 63 kilo battle. Amy Mason, Jennifer Sauter. Amy Mason opened up with 162.5. And if we're being honest, it was a bit of work.
It was a bit of work,
Took a
but
10 kilo jump. And now this would actually put her into provisional first over Jennifer. So that is why they put in that number. Currently, Amy's at 382.5. Jennifer's at 392.5. See her hit this. She's a fighter, we know this. Wow!
nice.
Can
Come
she
on.
lock it out? Still fighting with it. There it is.
Well, she locked it out.
Yeah,
but
gotta wait to see what the judges say.
Do the judges like it?
Oh my gosh. And unfortunately, let's watch this in the replay. See if there's
There might have.
There it is, that
was
downward
a little bit of
motion.
down up.
barely any, but that's why we've got these national level and higher judges on the platform. They know how to call those close calls there. And now with Amy missing that, she is still in silver medal with 382.5.
She's
Jennifer,
opened the door for Jen.
Jennifer currently in gold, trying to add 10 kilos to her lead. Bit of a fight towards the knees, but she is strong for it. That crosses her over the 400 kilo range, 402.5.
And you know what? That got a little sticky, but the advantage of conventional over sumo deadlift is that usually if it gets a little sticky in conventional, you could just kind of grind through it, whereas sumo, it's hard to maintain that position when it gets tough.
Difficult. Ellis Bradshaw, 10 kilo jump, 175. This will give her a 422.5 kilo total. Still would keep her in the bronze medal position, considering that Amy Hutchinson lifted earlier with a 427.5 kilo total. Ellis, that was a good lift.
Very nice.
Looked like a solid attempt. Not
She's
too
got
difficult.
a little more in the tank, I'd say.
And now, Cherny Woodard, 422.5 is where she sits at right now. Ellis was actually pulling over her with that attempt, but now she is coming out right after with 185. This will give her a 432.5 kilo total, crossing over Amy's performance from earlier in the day. Phenomenal attempt there.
Nice.
Just happy with that. 3 white lights, good lift for Cherny.
Cozy second attempt.
She's been executing on the day, only missed her opener, and that's especially rare for a newer lifter in the game. However, she does have experience of being on the world stage. Now, Lynette, 187.5. These are some big deadlifts for these Masters lifters. 413 pounds.
Nice.
Handles it very well. 3 white lights, good lift for Lynette, giving her that 2.5 kilo PR in the total. Esther Scott, again 187.5, 413 pounds. Walking out really calm to it, knowing that she has this in the tank. This will give her a 460 kilo total. Big favorite to win that 76 kilo class.
I think she's good for this. Let's see it. Little bobble at the top.
Yeah, very, very slight bobble.
Maybe
Not
it's
sure if the
okay.
bar went down. Okay, the 2 side referees gave that call for downward motion. Let's see how this looks, especially at the top. Now, that was very close.
It was
That was
fine
very
on
close.
strength.
Yeah, of course, fine on strength. Now, she is not really going to be threatened by Lynette. I mean, Lynette could, if Esther ends up missing that again, Lynette could make the pull for the win.
We might see a little bit of jockeying on third attempt deadlifts.
Yeah, I guess
for
it
these
just
ladies.
depends. Esther currently has put in that repeat attempt, considering that would give her an extra 10 kilos. Now, Alexa Spersky, 190 kilos. I'm amazed. These are some phenomenal deadlifts.
These are very big deadlifts, and you know what? After squat and bench, you're tired. To lift this much at the end of a long day,
Yeah, I
very
mean, 190
impressive.
kilos moving like that for Alexa Spersky. I mean, I'm a 69 kilo lifter myself. I would love to hit 190 kilos like that. And Alexa hitting it with ease on her second attempt. She's already locked up that national championship, 420 kilo total. Now, Melissa Copeland, returning world and national champion.
Walking up to that bar with confidence, because she is on today.
Hasn't missed a lift yet, and I don't expect her to. 205 kilos on the bar for her second attempt. Slow towards the lockout, but smooth all the way through. Oh. 2-1. That is a no lift. I don't even know if her handler saw that. Let's watch this in the replay.
Her strength looked good, but
I thought it looked good. She gets those red cards for
slight
not
soft
locking out. Her handler Arian is having that conversation with the jury,
It was
and
two
they're not going to
reds.
overturn it. Yep, that was a really close call there with that lockout. They likely thought her either shoulders or hips were not fully locked out, maybe even her knees. To me, it looked good, but it is very, I mean, we're not on the platform. The referees are. Now, on to third attempts. Kelly Tonini.
Oh, she's a fighter.
Yeah, she's
It's
a fighter.
just a little too
Unfortunately,
heavy.
yep, just a little too heavy. She's going to end off in the bronze medal position in that 57-kilo class.
And you know what? Deadlifts move so fast. These lifters really do not have much time between their first and second and third attempts.
Especially with these spotters who are so experienced, so great at making things efficient. Now we're going to see Noelle Brigden, 145, already locked up the national championship with her opening attempt. It's going to give her a 327.5 kilo total. And if you're wondering, 355 won the world championships last year. Yeah, just a little too much on the day. But she still walks away the champion, 320 kilo
she's
total.
a national champion. That is no small feat.
Definitely not. Now, Erin Riddle leads the way in the 57-kilo battle, currently at 365.5. Took a 5-kilo jump to 370.5, which would force Astrid to hit a huge 167.5 kilo deadlift. Erin, at her first national championships, trying to go 9 for 9.
Oh,
wow.
She's fighting for that.
And that was a really good call
Wow.
from her handlers. I mean, I thought that
Well
wasn't going to
done.
go off the ground. Awesome call there, going 9 for 9 at her first national championships.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Currently in the lead with a 370.5 kilo total, 20 kilos over the winning total from last year's World Championships. This is going to force Astrid Girolamo, going to come out next to take a huge 12.5 kilo jump. Currently sitting in silver medal, going to try to pull for gold.
You may as well try.
Of course. She's got the silver medal locked up, nothing to lose. And it's just not there
just
for
a little
today.
too heavy.
Just a little too heavy, but I'm sure she has no regrets in trying. That's
This
what
is
you
why
do. You're
execution
at nationals.
is so important.
And Erin Riddle, in that 57-kilo battle, came down to the last deadlift. Erin Riddle is your national champion in that Masters 1 57-kilo division with a 370.5 kilo total.
If Erin didn't get that third deadlift that would have opened the door, maybe Astrid would have had.
That's why execution is so
Yeah.
important. And even with the chip, even that she got that chip in the squat, forcing Astrid to take 2.5 kilos more.
Yeah, we saw some really good attempt selection and execution from Erin today, so congratulations to her.
Jennifer Sauter, 177.5 on the bar, trying to push her lead up more by 5 kilos.
Come on, Jen.
What a fight from Jennifer Sauter, and I expected
Well
nothing
done.
less from her. 8 for 9 on the day.
Let's out a war cry.
407.5 kilos
She left it all on the platform
in the
today.
total. Amy Mason is just going to come out in just a few lifters. We're going to see if she's going to try to pull for the lead over Jennifer. Jennifer, big total there, 407.5. Now Ellis Bradshaw, 180 kilos. Now Ellis currently in third place, trying to pull for second over Amy Hutchinson. Can she lock it out? And she does.
Let's see what the judges think.
2 to 1.
Okay.
It's a good lift for Ellis.
2 to
Pulls
1.
into silver medal over Amy Hutchinson. And wow, Amy Hutchinson really inserting her name in the primetime session, even though she lifted in the regular session. Now Amy Mason, 10-kilo jump from her missed attempt. Now she is not pulling for the win here. She is just going to pull for a 402.5 kilo total, potentially trying to bump up her total enough to get an invite to the World Championships if they double up in this weight class, the NAPF Championships. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a little too much for Amy today.
You know what? She's still had a very big total of 382.5. She might be set up with a solid alternate spot in case.
She could, yep, in case Jennifer isn't able to go.
Or someone else in the team declines their invitation.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait
Anything
to
could
see
happen.
how those team invitations shake up. But as of right now, Jennifer Sauter, your 63-kilo national champion. Great debut to the Powerlifting America national stage. Now Esther Scott missed her second attempt with 187.5.
It was just a little wobble at the top. I think she's
having
good
to
for
repeat
this.
Yeah, I think she is too. Just has to execute with that lockout.
Oh,
yeah, that
nice.
moved well. And I like that call to repeat. You're not going to want to go up, risk opening up the door to Lynette Bogdan. And yeah, Esther Scott ends up with a 382.5 kilo total in the 76 kilo class. And yep, now bars loaded for Lynette. She's not going to be trying to pull for the win. Again, just trying to put up the best total she can to potentially get a spot on another international team like the NAPF Championships. And just end the day strong on a high note. It always feels good to end the day with a made third attempt. Let's see her hit this, 195 kilos.
Nice. That's
Awesome
a strong
job
deadlift.
from Lynette. 3 white lights. She goes 3. Oh,
she's
she
so
is
happy.
so happy with that. 3 for 3 on the day. 8 for 9
Well
overall.
done.
Really well done. Ends up with a 10 kilo PR total. I mean, what more can you ask for? On the national stage, nonetheless. Now, Charity Woodard successfully has already defended her national title. Gonna have to see if she gets the world's team invite to defend her world title. Currently sitting at a 432.5 kilo total. Took a 10 kilo jump to pad her national title winning total.
Oh,
it's
she's
a
a
fight.
fight.
Yeah, she's a fighter.
Nice.
All the way to the top. That was a good call based on strength. 2
Okay,
to 1.
2
It's
to
a
1.
good call.
She worked hard for that one.
She ends the day as the 2-time 84 kilo national champion. 8 for 9 on the day. Really phenomenal lifting for her. 442.5 kilos in the total.
440 pounds, let's make some noise!
Alexa Spursky, big deadlift here. This is a national record attempt to end off her national title winning performance. 200 kilos, 441 pounds. As a 69 kilo Masters 1 lifter.
This is a huge deadlift for a
Huge
69
deadlift.
kilo lifter.
Period.
Yeah, period.
In the age division. Let's see it from Alexa. Stays patient off the ground, but it's just not going to budge.
Hey, she tried it.
Yep, I mean, she already locked up the win.
May as
Why
well.
don't go for that milestone? Ends off as your 69 kilo national champion in Alexa Spursky with a 420 kilo total.
All right, final to the play. We've got Melissa Copeland.
That could be good enough to podium at the World Championships. Melissa Copeland ended up missing that second attempt, wasn't able to get that overturned. Just trying to repeat that. She already has the national title locked up, not risking anything. Just trying to have a great day, end the day off strong. 205 kilos for a final attempt. Really making sure to emphasize that lockout at the top. Should be good.
Nice.
And it is. 3 white lights.
Well done.
Melissa Copeland returns as the reigning national champion. And
That was
yeah,
an exciting session.
exciting Flight A of lifters in the Masters 1 primetime session. In the 57 kilo battle, Astrid, we are going to move on to Flight B. Michael Haran opening up with 230 kilos in the 74 kilo division. Since he is the only lifter in that division, he's going to lock up the championship with this pull right here. There it is.
Nicely done.
Yep, nicely done. 3 white lights for Michael. Starting up strong, trying to make a case to return to the world stage. Previously has placed silver at the World Championships. Now we could see this 83 kilo battle come to fruition here. Jonathan Losa, the previous national champion, opening up with 230 kilos. Easy attempt there.
You can tell
as
he loves
expected.
performing.
Yeah, he really likes to put on the show. And that's kind of the swagger you develop, especially when you gain more confidence being on these high-level stages like the national and world stage.
That's right.
Now, Jonathan, if everyone hits their openers, Jonathan's going to be in 3rd place after openers. But first, Ross LaPala. Phenomenal day thus far. Really awesome lifting from Ross. First time in the Powerlifting American National stage. And what a debut that has been. 265 kilos for his opening attempt would give him a 719 kilo total. Easy.
That was snappy.
Wow, yeah. 3 white lights, good lift for Ross. Locks up that 719 kilo total as a Masters 183 kilo lifter.
I got Chad Schroeder.
And if you're wondering, 690 won the World Championships last year. So
Oh,
really,
wow.
yeah, really, that just puts in
He
perspective
set up really well.
how insane Ross's performance has been thus far. Now, Chad Schroeder, 267.5 kilos for his opening attempt. Solid opener there.
Nice opener. One
2
red.
to 1, gets 1 red, probably for soft knees, or I mean a red card is going to be soft lockout. They're going to go have that conversation with the jury just to ask what it was for. Now Todd Straub, we stay in that 83 kilo division. This will give Todd a 685 kilo total, which will put him in second place for the time being, just 1.5 kilos over Jonathan Losa. These two have battled before. They're battling again here for the rematch. Easy opener
Very
for Todd.
nice. That was fast.
Should be a good lift. Just a technical mishap here, but I can't imagine that not being good. There it is. That's a good lift.
Bars over Nathan Gorham.
Now, Nathan Gorham, with this 275 kilo opener, that is 606 pounds. This will give him a 802.5 kilo total, locking up his national championship win. At his debut to the Powerlifting America national stage, nonetheless. There it is. Wow. Over 600 pounds, moving so
Nice.
easy for Nathan. 3 white lights. That's a good lift.
Nice opener deadlift. Nice openers from all of these men.
Rob Ward, 280 kilos for his opening attempt. If both Rob and James hit their openers in the 120 plus kilo division, Rob's going to end up with a 808 kilo total. James is going to have a 797.5 kilo total. So Rob, even though his first time on the PA national stage, going to be leading after the openers. It's so tight between the two.
Nice. And you know what? If Rob takes away this title, then he and Jen are going to be a national champion couple.
I did not even think about that.
Yup.
We got James Ferrier.
Power couple right there.
Now Rob's direct competitor, James Ferrier, opening up with 282.5 kilo for the deadlift. This would put him about 10.5 kilos behind what Rob is currently sitting at. And we could get to judge the speeds of their openers back to back, kind of indicating where they could end up by their third attempts, who has more room left in the tank, who could be gassed by the time the deadlifts have rolled around.
That was clean.
It was clean, a little slower than you expect an opener to move. If we're comparing, and we are,
But you know what? Lifters, some lifters have slower lifts than others, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not as strong.
yeah, we could see James just, I mean, honestly, that's what I thought about Lane Norton's opening squat. I thought it was slow, and then he ended up coming back, going 3 for 3 in the squat, 6 for 6 so far. Now he's going to come out fired up for this 295 kilo opener attempt. We're in the 93 kilo division. This locks up his national championship win, another national title added to his resume.
He's had really solid attempt selection and execution today.
Yeah, as expected. I mean, he's been in the game for such a long time.
Nice. Looked good to me. Looks like it looked good to the
Yep,
judges.
3 white lights. And oftentimes you don't see lifters coming out so fired up for the opening attempt. But Lane's just got that energy. Now in the 105 kilo battle. This is really fun. I mean, we're seeing these lifters in these battles across the weight classes coming out back to back. Michael Garozzo, 300 kilos for his opening attempt. This would give him a 777.5 kilo total. Moved fairly
Nicely
well.
done. That was 661 pounds.
Next, we got Michael Garozzo.
Three whites.
Now we get to see Carlos Santoliquidos coming out right after. And based on forecasted total earlier in the day, they were neck and neck. But now Carlos, with this opening attempt, would lead by 15 kilos. It seems that he might have bumped up his opening deadlift. And that's why forecasted, it tells part of the story, gives some indication, but not the whole book. 302.5 is a smooth opening attempt for Carlos.
Yeah, forecasted total is useful information, but we don't know what kind of jumps the lifters are going to make.
Exactly.
Some lifters take smaller jumps, some lifters take
It can
larger
be a
jumps.
trap,
Yeah.
especially if you're a newer coach in the game or a newer lifter. You could end up chasing somebody and then missing your attempts, and then by the end you don't even have a chance.
You might even end up changing your openers based on how things are moving.
Back to the top of the order, Michael, second attempt, 245 kilos. Give him a 630 kilo total in the 74 kilo class.
Nice, clean, conventional pull. Look good to me.
3 white lights.
Judges agreed.
Bars over for Jonathan Losa.
Jonathan Losa, reigning 83 kilo national champion. 245 for his second attempt deadlift. His opener flew. I expect this to go. Yeah, moved like a
good.
second attempt should. 3 white lights. It's a good lift for Jonathan. And that puts him provisionally over Todd. And it seems like those two are going to be battling back and forth for a podium position, just because Ross has executed so much on the day that he is currently in the lead. Chad Schroeder, staying in the 83 kilo class, debuted the PEA national stage, 280 kilos in the deadlift for his second attempt. Slow towards the lockout, but again, smooth all the way through.
It still looked like a solid second attempt.
Yeah, and again, that second attempt, it's going to be more difficult than your opener, but you want to have some sort of indication of where you can go for your third attempt without completely emptying the tank. Ross Lapala, our leader in the 83 kilo division. 280 kilos on the bar for him. This would give him a 734 kilo total. And again, for reference, 690 won Worlds last year.
Very nice.
Again, moves like a second attempt should. Not too difficult for Ross. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Yeah,
I know some open level competitors would love to hit in the 730s.
Yeah, attempt selection and strength today is really on point.
Todd Schraub, 282.5 for his second attempt. This is they're really jockeying back and forth for position in the rematch between Todd Schraub and Jonathan Losa.
And you said that 691 Worlds
Yes.
last year?
And
Okay.
it's crazy that both Jonathan and Todd are going to be over that 690 kilo mark, but not going to walk away with the national title if Ross continues to execute.
This is just a really deep division.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of talent.
For Todd, unfortunately, that was a no lift.
His strength was really good.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
watch
it was
towards
just
the
a
lockout.
little wobbly at the top, and that can kind of happen with sumo, especially when it moves really fast.
Yep, it moved really fast. He locked it up, but then kind of got unlocked there, bobbled a little bit forward. That's where he got those 3 blue cards, no lift. And that was a critical miss. I mean, that would have put him back in the silver medal provisionally over Jonathan Losa. And I mean, if he's got bronze medal secured, he's probably going to pull for that silver medal anyways. But first, James Ferrier in the 120 plus kilo division, 295 on the bar. This is going to put him just over Rob Ward's 808. This is going to give him a 810 kilo total if James were to hit this. I think you're right. I think he's just one of those lifters where everything's going to move slow. I don't know how much room he has left in the tank, though. It's very difficult to judge.
That did look good.
That was a good lift, though. He is provisionally in first place. Rob Ward, of course, is going to come out for his second attempt deadlift. But first, Nathan Gorham, 300 kilos for his second attempt. 25 kilo jump from his first attempt. And again, Nathan already locked up that national title.
He can kind of do whatever he wants here.
Exactly. Just try to put up the best total he can. And that moved well for a 25 kilo jump. Just a little sticky towards lockout.
And you know what? His toes were kind of coming up at the top.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I hesitated a little bit. I think that they called soft lockout perhaps for his knees.
You can see his toes are coming up, so he
Started to
He's
fall
losing a
backwards.
little
But
bit
yeah,
of
I think that
balance
was a
there.
soft lockout based on the knees. I mean, again, he's already locked up the title. Not really risking much. I
Yeah.
would probably just repeat it. Just try to add those 25 kilos to
Same.
your total. Rob Ward, 20 kilo jump, trying to pull back in the lead over James Ferrier. 300 kilos. Oh,
Ooh.
let's see what the judges
Okay.
say on that.
I mean, he pulled it all the way up, but you got to have that really convincing, solid, clean lockout.
Yeah, let's see. Let's wait to see. And he's waiting to see as well. Oh my gosh,
Ooh.
and what
Well.
a twist of events here. Rob Ward took that 20 kilo jump, would have given him an 828 kilo total for the time being, but now he sits at 808 and sits in second place
Yeah.
behind James Ferrier.
There's only a 2 kilo difference between James and Rob right now.
Yep, and he's going to have to repeat that. He cannot go down an attempt. And Lane Norton comes out fired up for this second attempt deadlift, 312.5. This is going to give him a 775 kilo total as a Masters 193 kilo lifter. And this is going to give him the best total that he has hit, actually, in the 93 kilo class
Wow.
since 2015.
That's impressive.
Nearly a decade of work here.
Wow.
And there it is.
Wow.
Lane Norton, everyone. 775 kilos in the total. 3 white lights for Lane. I'm so excited to see where he goes for his third attempt.
That's amazing.
Just putting on a phenomenal performance thus far.
Yeah, I caught Lane
mean-
outside of the bathroom before he started the meet, and he said, this is the best 6 months of training I've had in 10 years.
Wow, and it goes to show, like, that's a phenomenal feat that he's done there.
I think he's going to make that third attempt deadlift.
I think he is going 9 for 9. But first, Michael Garoso, 25 kilo jump here in the hunt for the title against Carlos Santo Liquido. Let's see Michael lock it out. A little bit difficult for a second attempt. Not an all-out lift. 3 white
Nice.
lights.
I mean, that is a big jump.
Yeah, that's a big jump, and he pulls for the provisional lead over Carlos Santo Liquido. Currently, he's at 802.5. Carlos is at 792.5.
I mean, these guys are emptying the tank because
and
they
now-
want to come home with a national title and a ticket to IPF Worlds.
Carlos taking, again, he's also taking a 25 kilo jump. This will give him 817.5 kilos in the total. Let's see him hit this. If he misses, this is pivotal. It could really swing the door open for Michael.
But nope. Good
Looks
to
clean
me.
Three white lights. It's a good lift for Carlos. He is back in the lead over Michael Garoso. And this means that Michael would have to jump a pretty sizable 17.5 kilos. I imagine he's probably going to do it anyways, given that he's got nothing to lose.
He may as well.
Might as well. You never know. Miracles can happen. We are back to the top of the order, the final round of deadlifts in this phenomenal thus far Masters 1 Primetime session. Michael Haran, already your national champion, trying to add 10 kilos to his winning performance. Unfortunately, it's going to be a no lift for Michael. Still walks away your national champion in the Masters 1 74 kilo class with a 630 kilo total.
First you got Jonathan Losa.
And now we see this 83 kilo battle unfolding right before our eyes. Jonathan Losa, currently in second place. Todd Strab tried to pull over him in that silver medal, but he missed his second attempt. Jonathan currently sitting at a 698.5 kilo total. This is going to give Jonathan a 713.5 kilo total. Again, 691 last year's Worlds. That looked like a good call to me. See what the judges say.
That looked like the right weight for the third
Yep,
attempt.
that
Well
was
done.
a perfect call from his coach, Arian Kamesi.
It is tough to make a third attempt.
It's
deadlift.
very, very tough to call that. So Jonathan Losa currently sitting in second place. Todd Straub has already got the number on the bar that he's going to need, 296.5. It's going to be a national record. It's going to be fun seeing him try to pull into that position. But first, Chad Schroeder, currently in fourth place, going to stay in fourth place with this lift, just trying to pad his total at his debut to the PA national stage, 287.5 for his final attempt deadlift.
I like the use of the wrist wraps for deadlift. Helps the grip a little bit.
Yeah, I like using wrist straps in the deadlift as well. That was a good
Nicely
call.
done.
That was a really great call. 3 white lights for Chad Schroeder. Chad had a great day, going 8 for 9, ending up in 4th place in that 83 kilo class.
Well done. Really good execution today.
We stay in the 83 kilo class as Ross LaPala, really just a show out performance from him. No one's going to be challenging his national title at this point. 734 is what he is totaling right now.
293. Must be a national record.
This is a national record attempt for Ross.
Let's
Already
go.
picked up a national record in the squat, trying to add one in the deadlift as well. That looked like the perfect third attempt call. 3 white lights. It is good
Well
for Ross
done,
LaPala.
Ross.
That gives him a 747 kilo total.
Wow.
With 691 Worlds last year.
What a show.
And even if we're looking at the world record in that class, it sits at 778.5. Ross is not too far off that. Likely going to get that Worlds team spot. Going to go on to compete in his first World Championships. And now Todd Straub, the excitement does not end in the 83 kilo class. Todd, currently in 3rd place, missed his second attempt, already has the bronze medal locked up. He does not care. He is going for it. National record attempt, 296.5. And maybe more importantly to him, silver medal over the rematch with Jonathan Losa.
And you know what? He just needs to clean up that lockout. I think he's got good for the strength here. Nice. I think he's got it.
Has he done it? Has he beat
did.
out Jonathan Losa? And he does.
Wow.
A year waiting in that rematch when Jonathan Losa placed over Todd at last year's national championships. Todd coming back a year later to total over him, gets silver medal. And not when Jonathan had an off day too. Jonathan went 9 for 9 on the day, 713.5 kilo total. Todd ends up in the silver medal with 714. Awesome job from those 83 kilo lifters.
Very
Hats off
impressive.
to Ross LaPala.
3 totals
747.
above the world.
Exactly. That's just phenomenal.
The total that won last year. Incredible.
And now Nathan Gorham in the 120 kilo class, repeating his attempt with 300 kilos. Has to fully lock it out. Let's see what the judges say on that. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Nathan. Isn't able to fully get locked out. It's such a close call, but these referees are so experienced in the game. They
But
can
you know
make
what? They're
those
really
close calls.
consistent.
Yep, they are. They have been really consistent. All meet, they're going to continue to be consistent. But Nathan Gorham ends up your national champion in the 120 kilo class. And now Rob Ward bit of a sticky situation. He's currently in second place, having to repeat 300 kilos.
He was close.
It was
Could get
close.
this.
He doesn't need this much to pull for the win. I think that looks clean.
Looks good to me.
I
Let's see
think
what
it
the
looks
judges say.
good. He's kind of telling the refs, yep,
Nice.
that is mine. And Rob Ward,
He knew that was good.
come back for redemption with that 300 kilo deadlift. 828 kilos is his total right now.
He needed that deadlift.
And James Ferrier, let's see if he makes the attempt change. If not, he is going to stay in second place, just trying to add to his total. I mean, the bar's loaded. Yep. So James Ferrier going to end off in silver medal in that 120 plus kilo battle. Rob Ward is going to be your new national champion, 828 kilos in the total. And now James taking a 7.5 kilo jump. I mean, his second attempt was slow, so likely they thought that it was just too big of a jump. Let's just end the day with a final attempt deadlift, successful deadlift. End the day strong. Knock it out. I think that was a good
Nice.
call.
Well done.
Yep, 3 white
I
lights.
mean, strong finish for James.
Yep, really strong finish. And he had the big PR total, too. His previous total was 795, and he ended up with 817.5 kilos.
Yeah, and you know what? He set himself up for a really strong alternate position in case someone else doesn't take their spot.
Exactly, yep.
So,
And that's the benefit of just taking an attempt that if you know that pull for the win isn't going to be there, it's just too outrageous, and just add to the total. And he ended up with a good total, good PR total. Now Lane Norton
looks like this is
fired
a
up.
national record. National record
National
attempt.
record to end off his day.
9
he's had
for
the,
9.
He's had the best 6 months of training that he has in a decade, and it goes to show he totaled 775 already, has broken his previous best in this 93 kilo class.
717 pounds
Hasn't
on the bar.
totaled over that in the class since 2015. I mean, what a decade of hard work he has
Wow.
put in, and it goes to
What
show
a fight.
Lane Norton, now national record. Is that going to be a good lift?
Wow.
And it is. And what a celebration from Lane Norton, always putting on a
Oh
show.
my goodness.
He is your national champion, likely going to be returning to the World Championships to pick up another world title. 788 total from Lane Norton, 9 for 9 on the day.
Beautiful execution. 9 for 9. What more could you ask for?
Really great day from Lane Norton. And the excitement doesn't stop there. Michael Garozzo, another national record attempt in the 105 kilo class. Michael Garozzo currently in second place. This would put exactly what he needs on the bar to pull over Carlos Santoliquido. Oh. Carlos is going to lift first, given that they
Okay.
put in the attempt change for Michael. Michael has put in 340.5 kilos on the bar. Carlos just has 335. And of course, the bar always has to be rising in weight. Carlos electing to go first, just trying to build on that lead that he has, forcing Michael out of the pocket. Let's see if he can add 7.5 kilos to his total. Currently in the lead, trying to push it so far that Michael cannot reach.
Carlos did his job.
3 white lights. That is a good lift from Carlos Santoliquido. And I expect that attempt change to go in. Unless they are just want to pull for the national record, they know that the first place is out of reach. But we're going to have to wait and see. Bars loaded, and they are not going to put in that attempt change. They have given up the opportunity to pull for the win. Michael Garozzo going to try to pull for the national record to end off his day. I mean, phenomenal day thus far. Only missing 1 lift. And now trying to pull for a national record. As he moves, I mean, that is difficult to move up into a new weight class and have a chance at the national record.
These are some very strong lifters here. Hey, it came off the floor.
It did come off the floor. Unfortunately for Michael, that's going to be a no lift. But fortunately, he still ends up in the silver medal with a big 82.5 kilo total. And in the 105 kilo class, just as we ended off, Carlos Santoliquito walks away your national champion in that 105 kilo battle. 825 kilos on the day, and 815 won Worlds last year from none other than Ellis McLean. If he ends up going to Worlds, that could be a great battle between the two. Looking across the board, we had Carlos win that 105 kilo battle. Nathan ended up your champion in the 120 kilo division. Rob Ward ending up your national champion in the 120 plus kilo battle. Just phenomenal battles across the board. Ross LaPala coming in as a newcomer in that 83 kilo class. 747. Phenomenal lifting across the board. Lane Norton coming back, hitting the best total he has hit since 2015.
Oof.
Nearly a decade of work coming to fruition for Lane Norton.
So many hours in the gym.
That has been it. Thank you so much for joining us in this Masters 1 Primetime session. Phenomenal lifting all night. This has been really a great session.
This was fun.
And it's not going to end here. We're going to have more lifting tomorrow morning. Day 3 session when it's going to start bright and early at 8 a.m. We're going to have the junior lifters go, and you're going to want to come back for that primetime session in the evening. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be the junior primetime session. Thank you so much for joining us today at Powerlifting America, Day 2 of Classic Age Division Nationals. I've been your host, Adriana Davis, joined in the booth by Chelsea Savitt. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you tomorrow for Day 3 of H Division Nationals.